Hello everyone and welcome to the second half of Session 4 of the Sankei Shimbun Cup Women's League, here on the WRC channel. If you're enjoying our broadcast, please consider doing all those lovely YouTube algorithm things to like, stream, subscribe, click the thumbs up, ring the bell, do all those wonderful things. And hopefully we're going to get more content to you. I am Chiral, and the person working behind the scenes today, and joining me for Game 1 is Nathanael. Hi.
So happy to be here. It feels like it's been months since I've been able to participate in a Sankei Shimbun Cup broadcast, but this one is definitely going to be a fun one.
I think it has been at least a month between now and the last broadcast. The rounds are quite spaced out, interestingly. But yeah, it's going to be a good one today if it's anything like the one that I got to commentate on yesterday. Our broadcast today is sponsored by the WRC and USPML. We'll help you check out Sparrow's Nest, a New York Mahjong studio fully equipped with Slim Score, Ultimate and Rex 3 order tables. WRC, of course, is the World Riichi Championship, the most prestigious and international Mahjong tournament in the world. It's held once every 3 years, and the next of which will be in New York in 2028. I'm looking forward to that. The overall Sankei Shimbun Cup, though, is made of 2 leagues. We have the Scepter League in Tokyo and the Orb League in Western Japan. In Tokyo, we have 60 teams split into 15 groups of 4. Each group battles the other 3 teams in their group, only over 10 sessions. And then the top team from each group and the top individual players make it to 2 different finals. The Orb League has 5 groups, and since they're in different locations, the games are more spread out. And each region has their own schedule. Speaking of WRC, though, we do have a team this season. They're made up of an entirely international roster. We have Gemma as team captain from the UK, while Jenn from the US, Miho Nishida from South Korea, and Yumi Uotani from Japan are our players. Their group isn't actually playing at all this week because they've got a bye, but they were on the TV table last session, and I think they got like minus 30-ish. It wasn't the greatest result, but it definitely wasn't a disaster.
No, and the games
they're actually still in first place.
Yeah, the games were super exciting as well, the way they panned out. So if anybody missed those games, check them out. They are on the channel at World Riichi.
Yes, do check out the VODs. But yeah, I do remember very much enjoying watching those matches. But yeah, enough about Team WRC, because today we'll be watching Group 12, not Group 11, Group 12. And in Group 12, we have, in the East seat, Emi Sugimura from NPM representing Team Pixy. In the South seat, we have Kanako Hikino from JPML representing Team Wonderful Days. In the West seat, we have Mika Mizuguchi from NPM representing Team MiiPro. And finally, in the North seat, we have Rina Hata from SPM representing Team Kame. How are the teams doing right now?
Ooh, that's a great question. I wonder if I've got... I do. Peek.
See, I don't think I've seen Group 12 yet in this season, so it looks like it's actually pretty close. Only 4 sessions in, but the top 2 teams being within 11, about just over 11 points between each other. That's a tiny gap. But even Team Pixy can make a huge dent. That's something we saw yesterday, of course. A team with a minus 100 and something can get 1 first place and gain 60 or 70 points. And those deltas, minus 154. It's not great, but 3 games can change that, I think.
Absolutely. Big swings can happen.
We know our players. We know our teams. I suppose all we can do is ask for 2 things. 1, to wish them all luck in the game they're about to play. And 2, to ask you to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's kind of cool that we get to do this kind of stuff. It's like a lot of Jen's work, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And maybe if we keep growing, we might get more events. Because sometimes we have big gaps between sessions. Because we only have, I think, the Sankei Shimbun Cup right now, and, of course, the Saikyo-sen team battle. But there have been a lot of gaps. It'd be nice if we could get like more events to fill in.
Continuous coverage. Weekly broadcast. It would be crazy.
Yeah, usually I play the game of try and find the WRC player, but they're not here today. If they're here on holiday, just to watch the Mahjong, but...
I wouldn't be surprised if Jenn finds her way in the studio, even when the team's not playing.
honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised, especially if she had like the intention of like interviewing people after the matches. Be really cool.
She's always working so hard. Well, we are underway. We've got our dealer, Sugimura. Lots of pairs in hand, 4 of them. And this includes a singleton of the Dora. And we also saw the same, not here in Hikino's hand, but Mizuguchi, I believe, has
Yeah,
a
it's
number.
she's a little bit closer.
Yeah, similarly, 5 pairs and a singleton of the Dora. So the Dora being spread around here, our North player also holding one of those. So going to discard it immediately. No other pin tiles in hands.
Yeah, definitely that hand is building itself towards Pinfu, possibly even all simples as well. We do not need a Dora, and better to get rid of it early rather than having it be the liability. That's a triplet in this hand.
Still can play for both, still a Chitoi and a normal hand, depending on what comes through. Oop, there's a triplet again.
This is Tenpai. It's not the Pinfu, but it is Reach all inside. Waiting on 5 and 8 of Bamboo. See 2 of the 8s right here, though.
Almost unfortunate that now we're going to see all those Dora leave hands. It is one of the few safe tiles.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting looking at the discards from our player in the west position.
Mizuguchi.
Normally, you would think the 3-6 would be like a sort of warning sign or something. And I guess you now have to reconsider that as well. But
what about
the 1-9 afterwards is interesting.
So we're gonna see a bit of a fight.
Yeah, it almost looks like a flush. Right now, at least. From Mizuguchi.
Certainly.
Which I kind of like.
And it was going to set up really nicely for that. You cut it all pin tiles and waiting on the door itself. Kind of disguised wait a little bit.
Also want to shout out Hikino, who may have been considering things going for 13 orphans at one point. But what she definitely has done is by playing a lot of the middle tiles early, she's now got all those safe tiles. Play defensively to this reach. Welcome. You're incredibly on time today.
Absolutely.
They said they think they arrived like almost at the end of game 1. It was still a very, very good game. And I'm always happy to see you all.
Okay, 4-pin out, leaving the Furiten 3-6-pin shape.
Yeah, at that point you've got to start wondering what's the plan, right?
Yeah,
Are you just planning on staying safe and getting out of this hand?
It would seem so. Yeah, we're going to see another 4-pin come out. All right, so Mizuguchi staying away. Can anyone get back in here? It feels really tough against this early reaching. Also, through the door are cuts, so players understand that it's unlikely that without a Riichi will be a significant amount of value.
Yeah, so let's take a moment to have a look at the actual weights available still here, because we do see the 2 8s there, 1-5.
Just found one.
Okay. That does lower the number of tiles that will work for this hand. Just a fair bit. I think there's 3 left, 2 5s, 1 8. Unless I've miscounted.
Yeah, I think maybe even one less than that.
And interestingly enough, in a world where the 5 and 8 pin are proven safe, there's still a way that they can get back into the hand. Mizuguchi can still maybe build his empire here. But I think you need a little bit of luck.
Definitely going to be a patience game for these players who are just defending against this Riichi. Certainly, Sugimura, a little sad probably to miss out on your first dealership due to the third turn Riichi. But there will be plenty more opportunities later in the game. And of course, the second dealership when it wraps around to the South round.
Yes, exactly.
8-pin can come out now. Mizuguchi's going to try to get to a Tenpai. There it is. We'll take the 5-pin Tanki weight. No Yaku in that hand. There was a 1-mon call. She is holding 2 of the winners. Hata is looking for. And can she make it all the way to the end? I believe only 2 more draws, 1 more draw. 8-pin goes through. Oh, I forgot about the pawn, so we'll have, in fact, the final draw. East goes through too. Okay.
Okay. And that's the thing, right? Just being able to be Tenpai is going to be very significant. 1,500 points plus instead of the minus 1,000 you would have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, and even though it was Hata threatening with the early Riichi, it turns out that Mizuguchi is going to be on top, having not declared that Riichi, leaving a stick in the middle. So 1 Riichi stick,
Yeah.
1 Honba, going into East 2 for Hikino in the dealer seat.
I try not to get too stressed out about the reach 6. I'll win it back next hand. It's fine.
Right, but
We'll see. But
it's never a guarantee, of course. Hikino with a pretty looking high-pie. Nice so shapes. 1, 2, 3
Yeah,
so,
it was
2,
gonna
3,
try
4
and
so, and a
build
6 so.
it's a bit of a long shot, but I almost want to think about maybe a 1, 2, 3 or a 2, 3, 4 mixturable sequence in that dealer hand.
That's music to my
We'll
ears.
see. Something I'll definitely be paying attention to and hoping that the stars align, especially with the 2 of characters being Ghidorah.
Ooh, 2-pin draw. You might be onto something. And there's a great 2-mon draw. Mizuguchi advancing again, making another connection to that door, or rather drawing the door itself. What started as a 1-3-pin shape, 1-3-3 shape, is now 1-2-2-3-3.
And yeah, as I say, it didn't have to be 1, 2, 3. It could be 2, 3, 4 as well. With that 4 draw, I think we know which side of the Sancho we're going to be aiming for. I believe it's already 1 away, right? For our dealer here.
So fast into a Tenpai. We could see another super early Riichi. A better Ishan 10, but this one is one that could lose the Sanchoku chance. So you pair up the 2-mon or the 4-mon. That'd be one way to get to a Tenpai that does not involve 2, 3, 4 Sanchoku.
Very true, yeah. Would you take the Tenpai if you paired up the 4-mon? The pairing up the Dora 2, okay, that's fine,
Yeah.
I think. But I think I'd refuse the 4-mon, personally.
That's
I
interesting.
don't want to be discarding Dora.
I don't think it's so bad to declare a good weight dealer Riichi, but it is very sad to miss out on the Dora, especially when you have big value opportunities.
I guess the other factor is how quickly you get that Tenpai, right? If you get it really late.
Oh, here we go. Here's the
Well,
decision.
we're going to make a decision here now.
No
No,
hesitation.
it's early enough. Yeah, no, fair enough. That works. Hopefully it'll pay off.
You just imagine
Yeah, if I think I got
a 3-mon is the Ueda indicator, flip Ueda 2, reach Sumo Ueda 2. No problem.
Yeah, I think if I got that Tenpai like maybe row 2 or 3, I'd be feeling very scared about that Dora cut. Oh, there's the 3.
You would have.
No, that's unfortunate.
You were Sanchoku Pinshu Tenpai with the Dora.
Either way, though, it's still Tenpai. We still got that reach stick in with the dealer as well. So an earlier reach as dealer is always a good thing.
Oh, it's gonna
but it
be
doesn't win.
Sumo Sugimura shuts it down with a Tanyao Kanchan. Had some weight improvements, had some value improvements, didn't declare the Riichi, so it'll just be the Tanyao Tsumo plus the 2 Riichi sticks. Early Riichi just not quite enough to shut down that hand.
So, a little bit unfortunate, but the scores are still very, very close going into East 3.
So far, we've seen that Riichi has not been the play. None of the Riichi hands have won. 0 for 2.
That's very true. Yeah, definitely. We've seen in the past sometimes the player who reaches will have some very mixed luck as time goes on, but usually it pays off over time,
And that's
over
the
enough
thing.
hands.
I'm
But we'll
joking
see.
a little
We'll see.
bit about the statistics of this game. It's very important to recognize, exactly as you say. Over in the long run, Riichi will pay out.
It would be very funny if every reach failed, though, for the
Well,
entire match.
and it's strange because these have been early Riichis, which sometimes
That's
indicates
true.
a bad weight and leads to making it more difficult to win. But they've been good weights, strong weights, Gihamen weights.
Yes. I think that's the other issue, and maybe not on this level against this higher level play, but definitely something that I've seen in, say, playing on ladder is oftentimes the first Riichi people will tunnel vision onto,
Mm.
and everyone will play super defensive against the first reach, and then the player who's just building a Dharma hand sometimes gets ignored. Not at this level. Not at this level. I would very much be surprised. But we do see sometimes an overreaction, I think. Once again, this hat. Why are things tending towards 7 pairs all the time today? What's going on so far?
As a dealer, Mizuguchi might not be. That might not be plan A, 7 pairs, but it certainly is one of the options that she's going to have to consider at this point.
In a world where we're lucky enough to pair the Dora, that would be that would become my plan A. But for now, it's not really. Yeah, exactly.
If you're committing to the Bears plan, you might hold on to something like that West as a potentially solid weight later on. There's a Dora. Sugimura has maybe a chance at an outside hand too.
Yes. Yeah, obviously the other players seeing the 2 5s in the first row of discards going to be thinking something's up. Whether that's an outside hand, whether that's a pairs or sequence or a triplet space hand, who knows? But when you see 2 5s in 2 different suits at the very first row, something's going strange. You need to be paying attention.
So moves us towards a sequence-based hand, and yeah, one of the pairs will go away. Mizuguchi
choosing the one to maximize the chance of that all inside hand as well.
Yeah, we saw the 1-pin triple up here, which was excellent draw. It didn't really advance Shantan, but it gives you so much more flexibility being headless. There were a number of bad shapes in that hand, and any of those bad shapes could turn into the pair of the hand, and that would be a great way to resolve the weakness that a penchant can give, or add some flexibility to other channels. Well, now you just filled a penchant, so you've got a beautiful Ishantam.
That 7 is the best possible draw for that hand.
With the triplet in hand, every single Tempai draw will leave you with a good weight, because even if you fill out your sequence, you can just slim down from the triplet and get Miho.
Yes, exactly. I really like it's something we don't always see as well from Hikino there. We have that 1, 2, and the 6 shape. It's sort of mid-hand, and maybe you might be tempted to decide, I'm going to commit to waiting on the 3 of bamboo, keep this 1, 2 shape no matter what, but he kind of said no. I'm actually going to cut the 1, 2. Keep this 6 to try and get a better weight in the end. I like it. I like it. So we don't always see.
Some Tanya ideas as well. Notably late Formon coming out from Mizuguchi, so that is a threat to the board. Tile near the Dora has been discarded, so could indicate that she's close to Tempai. She's actually a lot farther than that tile might indicate.
It's still 2 away for dealer Mizuguchi.
Here it is, the Miho draw. Riichi declared 3/6 on the weight.
Yeah, we're not going to see this 3 come out here, but we may see a 6 come out if it's drawn. Possibly. Depends on how serious we are about this outside hand. We're not serious enough about this outside hand. That's perfectly fine.
I feel like that's a pretty common theme with outside hands. You hope, and then you fold.
Yeah, I think that's fair, honestly. The amount of times that I've wanted to do it and then just realized, yeah, this isn't going to happen. Usually because the thing about the outside hands is obviously players will discard the outside tails first, usually go outside in just because of efficiency, which means that oftentimes you end up finding quite early on that you can't finish this hand.
Hang on a second. 5 just cleared, and this is a draw into Tempai. She can take Riichi plus Dora, waiting on the 2-mod.
It's an early Suji too, which is interesting because we played that 5 on draw 3. But the hand does look like it's a half. So it's an outside hand, right? With our discards. So is the 2 safe? Not safe enough. Well, not letting you have to win to declare a reach, at least. It is also a door indicator as well, so you know there's one less out there.
Yeah, that makes it a little tough. Of course, it comes out on
There it is, though!
Patsu turn.
Unfortunate.
You sort of had the sense that that was going to happen.
Yeah, sometimes you just know.
Recently, I played in a tournament that had an almost identical situation. The dealer declares Riichi. I get safe entry, but it's on a Conchon that's not a good tile. I'm like, I normally wouldn't Riichi this, but I really do feel like it's going to come. And then I convinced myself not to Riichi. And of course, immediately it comes out. And I am full of sadness, but what can you do?
The plus side, though, is because we haven't, even if we ignore the win, we have now drawn the 6, which does deal in, and because we haven't reached, we do now have that safety. But yeah, the absolute worst case scenario would be once it's gone to then go, okay, fine, now I'll reach, because we would have done on that 6.
Right.
I've been there too.
If you have
everything's gone wrong.
Yeah, if you had a reason for not declaring the Riichi, then just because you backfired doesn't change those initial reasons, right? And I believe there's still a tune live. I think 1 is discarded. But that means that she could cut the 1-mon into Adora Donkey Templars as well. So there are ways to play around this.
I do actually see a possible source of disaster, right? In a world where the Red Dragon does get played or drawn, could see a deal in. Actually, the 3 star I want to talk about. Of course, you're never going to do that. Yeah, it looks like we have a last-ditch Tenpai attempt from Hikino. We were talking about how it does pay off. 1,500 points is significant. Is it as well, but we have to play Dora to make that happen.
Yeah, of course.
Sugimura.
Can't keep the 8-mon as well. There's not really enough time to cut the tune pair. This is the last draw, so decide what if you want to jam it. It looks like 8-mon's just a little bit too hard for her to try. The hand will get revealed to be 3-6. It was safe.
Oftentimes, though, it's hard to make that judgment, right?
It is. I think the calculus changes a lot when you're dropping Haite or Hote, I guess as the case may be, because you no longer have a chance to win points by winning the hand. It's only the Yukoku points that you're aiming for. So you're thinking at, maybe I can get 1,500 points, but if I deal in, the expected value of the deal in is a lot higher because you're guaranteed to add 1 extra han to the hand. So it makes it even harder to push.
This is a completely unrelated anecdote, but it is Hote related. Have you ever dealt into Hote Dora 8 before? Because I have.
What?
A player who had no idea what they were doing, made some cards, flipped themselves 8 Dora. I knew they didn't have a Yaku, but I wasn't paying attention to the Hote, so I dealt into Hote only, Dora 8.
I see. Understandable. That can happen. Oh, they have no Yaku. I can just play freely. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
There's always a Yaku.
Start from Hikino with the Dora draw there, and also the potential pre-order sequence. Let's have a look at that.
Ooh, another Montile.
Yeah, there's a chance it's not 3 3 4 4 5 5. It could be 4 4 5 5 6 6 as well. But I guess there's a world where it ends up being some sort of weird set of sequences that doesn't have that one pure sequence in there. But I'm very excited for Hikino's hand here. Deal Mizuguchi doesn't have a bad start either, getting to the end of row 1.
Sugimura here with a 3-pin draw. Hikino now with the Chun pair might think about opening the hand. Mizuguchi pulls the 1-mon. All right, more mon tiles. It's going to be 9-mon. No, 4, so going to keep the flush ideas alive.
Yeah, I wasn't even considering the flush with the Dora 2 there, but if the tiles keep coming, I mean, who am I to say no, right?
And that's the thing. Mizuguchi wasn't forcing it. She cut away her honor tiles, and that's, I believe, the correct idea here. That's how I think, I think you should play it this way in order to maximize the chance of just getting to a Tenpai as dealer with Door 2. But the Mon tiles keep coming, and that 9-mon decision really was the key one. She said, I can float it 1 turn longer and drop the 4, so, and has been rewarded with an 8-mon draw, and now it's going to be a full commit.
I like to think of playing a Mahjong hand as like looking at a river, right? The water's flowing down, and you can block paths the river can take. You can't choose which path the river is going to take, but you can definitely block paths and prevent it from going places. And just keeping that sort of estuary, I guess, open, that the water could divert down.
And who knows, maybe it gets some surge of draws in that towards that area.
Okay, that's definitely workable, but we are at the end of row 1. We haven't seen any of these door. Also, I think the door indicator is not the 3 of characters. It looks like it's actually the green dragon. I probably should just point that out.
Oh yeah, very good point. The overlay is slightly incorrect here, and it is door 2 for Hikino.
Which means that this Chun, this red dragon here, is actually worth a lot more than we were thinking before, because now it's the Dora as well. So definitely something to be thinking about. And a reason not to play it. Don't want to give someone Chun Dora 3. That's the one, of course, in this situation being Sugimura, who's actually only 1 away and will absolutely call the red dragon if it's played.
I think Sugimura and Mizuguchi both are looking for calls to make. They haven't had that opportunity yet. But if Hikino makes progress, she could drop the 1-mon, which could be called. One big problem is that Hata is holding on to the 7-mon triplet, so Mizuguchi with the 8-9-mon shape might have trouble completing that.
Oh, but we see it drawn.
Riichi. Not going to hide the fact that she's Tenpai here, even with the Mongon, the silent Mongon. Maybe recognizing that Mon tiles aren't coming out so easily, so she'll try to pluck it out of the wall with a Hanuman.
It's always interesting when to reach and when not to reach. I think it's better EV when you've got a closed Mongon to bump it up to Hanuman when you can. Obviously the best time is when you've basically got the forehand. Don't want to bump up to 5 usually. Usually it's not worth it. But we are going to see people playing aggressively into this, though, interestingly enough.
An attempt here. Sugimura trying to shut it down. Ooh. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought we would see the pawn into Tenpai, and then there's a hesitation, but it does go through. And Mizuguchi just bows out.
I guess it makes sense. You definitely don't want to be the pawn person to deal in. You don't see where any of the door are, other than maybe the one in your hand, which you can't really play. And it looks like this hand's going to be shut down by the cheapest. Honestly, kind of sad. But everyone else on the table is going to breathe a sigh of relief, at least when they watch the video back.
I think that was sort of a reluctant deal-in slash Sashikomi. Because of the way that the original call was made. I think she cheated 2-3-4 before, but left a 3-pin on the left side of the hand. Like cheat and grab the 2 tiles in the middle of another 3-4 shape. So kind of revealed the presence of another pin shape in that area. But the 2-pin was still Gambutsu, and it's unlikely that that was the hand with the Dora 3.
That's very true. Actually, is it true?
You'd have to be really fortunate to have drawn all 3 copies and have made 2 Tanyao calls and have 1 more Tanyao shape. Like the last 3 out of... The North player had yet to draw their tile before the first discard was made, so they're just going to check with the judges to see how to resolve this. But this happens in tournaments sometimes, and usually what happens is, in this case, they just let the North player draw their tile.
I guess at this point we should shout out the judge team doing hard work in the background. Hopefully never needed, but when they are needed, it's good to have someone there. And yeah, it looks like exactly that's what's happened. Okay, so we have a chance for a Khan here, which is quite interesting.
Ooh, it's also a terminal con. Plus 32
Yeah,
Fu.
we saw a lot of Khans yesterday, more than I was expecting. So I'm wondering if that's just sort of how the meta is progressing in Japan. Maybe people are being a little bit more on the attack than they used to be. I don't know. I'm curious. Problem with this hand is, of course, it's just the rest of the shapes are just so terrible.
Yeah, we kind of need that extra 9 mana in our hand to make another 7/8/9 and get Sanchoku or something. Get Junchan
Yeah.
Sanchoku with 4 copies of the 9 mon. It's tough.
That is a huge fill, though, for our dealer Sugimura.
Yeah, potential 5/6/7 Sanchoku. Door 3 for Hikino, another big opportunity. We're going to see the 2 mon Chi. So it will be an outside hand, or a mon flush will probably be outside, though.
I think that's fair. I mean, you've got a 9-pin on its own that's doing nothing, and you just got to say to yourself, it's Adora, I can't discard it, I need to find some value from somewhere. I think that's totally reasonable. Unfortunately, the draws are not agreeing with that plan.
Is it 6 mon time? East first. Let's cut.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting because obviously you're trying to master the fact you're going for an outside hand, but there are really only so many hands you could be going for with a 1-2-3 core.
Important 6-pin draw. Hikino still looking for the green dragon to confirm a Yaku with Dora 3.
I still think that, honestly, Hikino could just reach at this point. The hand's progressing, honestly, at a better pace than most of the other players on the table.
Just going to point out
For,
that, since the first couple of hands, we've had a Riichi go to Ryukyoku, and then we had Hikino's Dora 3 Riichi get shut down by an open Tanya. Riichi hands still have not won yet.
that may continue with this outside hand actually getting a few calls. Not good draws, sadly, but at least the calls have been advancing this hand quite nicely. Oh,
Okay.
so you reach 3-sided weight. 2 of them give Sanchoku that mixed triple sequence. 5, 6, 7 in every suit.
Surely a Riichi finally wins. Is this the South Round Riichi buff? Sugimura.
So I just want to point out in chat, yeah, don't jinx it. Yeah, maybe maybe we should accept some responsibility.
Anyway, if this Riichi doesn't win, I will.
Yeah, that's fair.
258 pin though, and it looks reasonably live from what I recall.
You would definitely expect that to. There's a 2. It's not helpful in this hand with Dora 3, so I'm definitely seeing someone maybe being a little bit more than willing to attack and play that too if they get another advancement.
Oh, Tsumo.
But it's a self draw and it's the good side.
And Ura.
And we flip an Uradora. Hello.
Each Tsumo Sanshoku Ura.
Riichis do pay off, I believe.
Okay, all right. It is the South Round buff. A Riichi is going to win eventually. And for manga on 12,000 points. Sugimura gets the dealership she was hoping for. This is, remember in East 1, there was a third turn Riichi. She didn't get to play it. South 1 rather. Beautiful. Kanchan fills into 3-sided weight, into Takame Tsumo, the expensive side Tsumo.
And this is definitely the team that needs the points, right? Going into this game with a minus 154.4. Can work off a third of that minus score in this game, and maybe if they can do it 2 more times, they can have a score of 0. just have a nice little reset going into the next round. Would be very, very nice for them. But we'll see. A lot of work to be done to win 3 games on the bounce there.
Mizuguchi with the south pair. Is Yakuhai in the south round? Hikino kind of weak shaped, no Dora, unfortunately. And another pair here for Mizuguchi. Could be a triplets hand. We'll just start with a 2-so, lock in the triplet of 1-so, and hope to build around the 5.
I think it's really interesting to get rid of that 2-so there. I might have been thinking that maybe there's a world where I could make that a pair in a sequence, and I'd be keeping it. I know it's inefficient necessarily compared to... Oh, but there's a 3! Inefficient compared to the 5, I was going to say, but I don't know. Part of me likes to keep those shapes. It's probably a weakness of mine.
I think if you are building like a standard looking hand, it's probably better to just cut the 2-so there. But I think with all the pairs and potentially triplets, I do like the 2-so a little bit more. But I think it, just from a pure efficiency perspective, certainly it's the classic cut.
Yeah. It's the kind of mistake I always make, and I always look at it and go, yeah, people told me this is bad, but I keep doing it.
I got baited by that recently in a game. I had 7-7-7 9-pin. I was thinking, this would be a beautiful final weight. I'm missing a pair. And then, I just could not find an 8-pin, 9-pin for the life of me, and missed out on all my other shapes that had potential.
Ouch, yeah. I'm sure we've all been there. If you've played Mahjong long enough, you've definitely had a situation like that.
The potential Sanchoku here as well, 3-4-5. Ishantam.
This is one of the situations where you don't even really mind, right? Because if you don't get the Sanchoku, at least you get 1 Dora.
Right.
With that 6-pin, so it's not as bad, right? Just you're asking yourself, when do I get Tenpai? Please give me Tenpai. Any Tenpai will do. Keep getting Pinsu, but not the Pinsu I want.
You're just hoping that those pin tiles will disguise your weight in the future later.
That's very fair, yeah, exactly.
Dora, but it doesn't match anything in hand? That's problematic. There's still
I guess you could...
a pairs option
you don't
here.
have to force.
So that's some incentive to hold on to the 6-pin. Also, a 5-6-7 Sanchoku thought. Should play the 3-so.
Okay, we didn't get the Sanshoku, but we do have that Dora. And a 3-sided weight. 2-5-8 will do it. In the character suit.
I quite enjoy the hand spacing there, the tile spacing. Separating the 3-4-5. Because she's trying to will the Sanshoku into existence. Give me the 5-8 mon, not the 2 mon. It didn't end up mattering with the Dora draw, but
I think it's also interesting, right? Because obviously if players are looking at where in the hand you're taking out your tiles. I definitely think at this level people would be paying attention to that kind of stuff.
At the same time,
maybe
I think since you know that players are going to be watching for that, you also disguise it, so it becomes less useful to see where things are coming out from hand. Sometimes. Depends on the player, of course.
So by my count, I think we see 5 of the weights here for the 2-5-8 weight, which means there are going to be 7 tiles in that wall.
Could we see
more than you'd expect?
See back-to-back Riichi
Mahjong. I take it back. There are only 6 tiles, but there's one of them, and that is just Riichi Pinfu with the Dora. We did. Even better.
Hata will make up a bunch of ground here, only about 9,000 points away, 8,000 points almost, 8,100. And okay, so we've solved the mystery here. Diamond Riichi, bad. Salmon-chan Riichi, good.
I I can't argue with that, to be honest. Summon-chan is a very nice shape.
Just need to get chased by a Kanchan, and that will it'll be the end of the sumos that we've been having. But
And for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, the Summon-chan is the sort of three-sided sequence weight where you've got that sort of shape like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can either make 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8 to make your final shape. Very, very nice.
one of the things I really appreciate about Mahjong is just how pretty the shapes are. It's just aesthetically pleasing when you end up with this three-sided weight, or and Totsu weights are strong too. Multi-sided, like 5-sided weights, 6-sided weights. It's just so appealing to build these shapes and see them complete in all the variety of ways that they can.
Yes, exactly. I do occasionally play sort of single suit Mahjong just to try and practice like identifying weights quickly, especially when it's really complicated. And when you get like a 6 or so tile weight, it's like, it's like some really good shapes, but also they're overlapping and it works at the same time. Yeah, anyway, I should stop gushing about that.
We have the dealership passing over to Hikino, 8-man Dora.
Yeah, I'd be thinking about the 6-8 Sanchok. I think we're missing the 8-man side, but of course with the 8-man being Dora, you always want to try and think of a way to include it, even if it's a long shot. And we'll see. But yeah, it's probably not going to happen, obviously. But if I drew the 6-man, I'd be thinking about 6-7-8 Sanchoku. I know it's greedy, but I'd be thinking. Might not have much time left to make that happen, especially with this 4 of dots draw.
Oh, look at this. Haku Haku. It was going to be really interesting to see what she chose to cut, because the tile that had maybe that was the weakest in hand was the 8-man, the door itself. You don't really want to drop that. So how do you resolve the problem? Well, just drop another mediocre shape in your hand, the dragon pair.
Yeah, it also lets them go for the all inside that all simples hand for an extra 1 hand. And from third place, you do want to try and squeeze out every little bit of value you can. Mizuguchi's still got a dealership left, be in South 3, but I'd be thinking about how do I get the most points out of this situation, because there's not much time left. And
it's also kind of interesting to think about it from the perspective of one of the other players sitting at the table, and you see someone discard Dragon.
that's very true as well, yeah.
Either their hand is strong enough that they could cut a dragon pair, or they're seeking value, and that also indicates strength as well.
Yes, exactly. A lot of the time it's hard to identify what the flag means, but it definitely is something that's noteworthy to the other players. This is going to be a reach as well, by the way. Nothing too special, just reach Pinfu. But from first place, from last place and from the dealer, of course.
It's a huge threat.
It's going to make this 8-man very difficult to push, but I don't think we're going to see it come out anyway.
There are no Seitas. It's just this 3-pin.
Yeah, no. Like, arguably, maybe 6.
6.
Yeah, 6 is Nakasuji. The 3 is Genbutsu, but then you've got to dismantle your entire hand to make that happen. 6 kind of does the same thing.
Yeah, 6 gives you a little more flexibility with your future shapes. Very likely we'll just see it all come out, though.
Also, as you were saying, talking about the shuffling of tiles in the hand, I think they waited 2 draws to move that last Tenpai tile into the position it needs to go in. But we do have a summa, no error, just reach Pinfu. But from the dealer and from last place.
$1,300, nothing to scoff at.
The first of potentially many steps.
It would have been a really nice hit there, but this is, as you say, a step forward, and Hikino will get another opportunity here with a repeat counter. South 2, repeat 1. 7 Pandora. That is somewhat centralized. Hikino holding 1.
If we're feeling really
Make that
mystical
2.
today, that was technically a Rianman reach that managed to win.
Oh, okay. So these scoring
So
opportunities have been unlocked. Anko and 5 Anko here from Mizuguchi. This could be an exciting hand. A lot of
this is unfortunately less so, but we
tiles.
do have the South, which is always something to work with, but not a lot of value. I guess Hata doesn't necessarily need a lot of value if her goal is just to get second place, right? But and also, you know, a cheap hand to get a little bit closer to first place is never a bad thing.
Yeah, at this point in the game, you're counting your chances. Now for Hata, she always has her dealership. All last dealership to make something happen. Whoa, door 3. You just wish you had better supporting tiles for that door 3.
Yeah, I'm staring at that north. I'm going, why are you the wrong wind? You could be any other wind. I'd be so happy, but no.
This might actually be Kokshi.
Nah, we got the 9. We got 9
Oh,
silver
you're
first
right.
discard.
You're right.
I was counting
this
the.
could have been.
I was definitely counting terminal tiles, just thinking about what could have been. I think we had like a 7 or 8 star. It wasn't actually that impressive. But with no draws, you have to go and make the best of what you're given, no matter what.
I do appreciate Mizuguchi holding on to these dragons for as long as she did. Singleton. Kuchin.
I do like Hata maybe keeping the back door of the flush available. It obviously the pin shape in her hand is still probably the strongest incomplete shape, but if she gets very, very lucky, I could see a world where we cut the one. Oh no, I take it back. Yeah, the 2 1-sos.
Yeah, and
If we
naturally,
manage to,
we're speaking of this as a super long shot. It's not
yes,
something that is probably going to happen, but it would be quite nice if it did.
as I'm saying, it's the river, right? The water it probably won't flow the direction you want it to go, but the second you block that path, it's never going there, right?
We're going to come
And
in.
we are going to go for it. Okay.
That 7 mon was a big fill in making this a reality.
Hmm.
Taeko's going to come out east, just a safer tile to hold on to at the moment, especially when a player started to cut their so tiles to come to the pin tiles. And so 1-so is a sign of something strange happening.
It's always something to keep in mind, right? When a player discards a pair, especially the pair is from the hand, not tiles you just picked up and discarded.
And I really do think a lot about sort of the detective aspect of Mahjong, where you are. Every discard is a clue, and by itself, it's not going to tell you the full picture, but when you add them up step by step, you're going to get an idea of what's going on in the hand.
Yeah, exactly. It's very hard to do in a live game, but it's very fun. And we are going to see this cool now. Subtlety is out the window. South half flush it is. But Hata doesn't need a huge amount of points to get first place. So absolutely the right thing to do to try and just squeeze just enough to maybe overtake. And with that South, it's going to happen. A nice 3-sided weight, 258 once again. It's already paid off once today. The 258 of characters.
Sugimura has a clean path into Tenpai now 4, so 2-so. Sozu should clear. The 5 mon. Tough to push a 5 mon, but she will try it with the door 3. Understandable. And this will deal into the 3 han of Hata. 39 becomes 4,200.
Well, it's made the next 2 hands very interesting, right? We have 4,000 points separating first place and second place. Can Mizuguchi manage to catch up. It's happened before. We've had a player in South 3 get 3 or 4 wins on the bounce. But that is going to be pretty bad news for poor Hikino.
At this point, she might just be aiming for that third place spot unless Hanemon or something along those lines comes in.
I'm sorry. I laughed at the pun. I'm sorry. That was pretty good, though, Z. I appreciate that.
Broken Chiral. Well done.
You know when you get embarrassed and you laughed at something, but like genuinely had a giggle from that.
It's worth. All right, Mizuguchi with the 6-pin triplet. So maybe a Riichi come in soon. Hata with another strong looking hand. And remember, she built that hand, that 3900 in the last one. She created that out of thin air. So now that she has a slightly stronger starting hand, this could be another nice Riichi. 9-mon doors, a little tricky to use. Sugimura holding one of those towards the outside hand. Some Dora connector here for Hikino, advancing in Shantan. Quite close to being able to declare Riichi with that Dora.
I definitely see it's a very long shot, but I definitely see a long shot where Hikino manages to make a 7-9 mixture sequence as well. Getting to use that Dora and maybe catching an extra hand or two.
And you know Hikino is looking for those opportunities. Whenever you're in last, you're always playing with the value-seeking mindset.
Yeah, especially if you don't have a dealership left over. You sort of have to make something happen. And ideally, the sooner the better. Still, though, Hata is now 1 away from Tenpai.
Definitely had the advantage in the early draws, but Hikino Shantan as well. Sugimura draws the 2-pin, so it's like a 2-4-6 pin shape as well as a 6-8 shape. The 9 will come out towards a potentially inside hand.
Pani. Yeah, but you do want to be drawing Sozu, but not that one. Sadly.
How about 3 so? It feels a shape, but poses the question about your pair.
I think I'm happy cutting the 8 of pins here. But I guess it also works too.
Yeah, it's kind of similar idea.
Feeling very suspicious about the 6-8 specifically.
Mm.
Part of that shape. We don't want to give up on the 2-4-6, obviously. A 5 would be an amazing draw. But you're left with still with that 6-8, so we'll see. We'll see.
Really hoping to have this Mon shape resolved, and that 6-mon really clears things up.
We are going to see that 4 get cut. Yeah, makes sense. A perfect draw would be the 3-pin. That would definitely get us a very nice Tenpai.
Yeah, there's a thought to cut the 8-pin instead, and maybe draw 3-mon and pull in a diamond shape. But if you draw a 5-mon, you're probably just going to take this Tenpai as dealer. So that means that maybe the 4-mon has a little less utility than it might otherwise. It's understandable to just cut it out. There's the Tenpai.
Okay, this is Tenpai.
Yeah, the way she's been playing this, presumably would see a Riichi here. So Riichi Tanyao waiting just on the 3-pin.
Might be the most exciting reach, but when you are in your last dealership in South 3, you always take that. It's the EV move. I'm almost 99% sure that is the correct move in all situations.
Say Naga with Riichi.
Yes.
Naga's pretty good.
Actually, looking at everyone's hands here, we think that might be our only 3 of pins here. Oh, there are 2, which means there's 2 remaining. It's not a bad reach. Could just sumo right this second. Not quite.
Oh, well, it was coming soon. Just
very useful.
Player. This is a Tenpai, but you have to cut the 4-so, and it's a bad weight.
Yeah, I think it's quite hard to justify the 4 cut. So we're not going to be playing it. Okay.
1-mon was also another interesting option to move to Tanya.
Yes. Just that moment when your brain's just racking for it. Can I think of a good excuse for doing this style? It's not a good way of playing, but I definitely have had that mindset. I just want an excuse. So when it deals in, I don't feel it's bad.
No, honestly, that's what defensive techniques are, right? Any defensive technique is just an excuse to push. Think about it. One chance, does that really mean that they don't have the last tile? Of course not. It's just an excuse to push.
That's sometimes true, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Kame? They could be on a donkey. It's just an excuse to push.
I think that's harder to justify. But yes, yeah. I see where you're going from it. I see the point.
2 chance?
Oh, we finally found a head here. Yeah, so still one away from another tempo there for Hata.
And
I definitely think Hata's going to be trying.
That's kind of where I was thinking the 1-1 would give you that opportunity if you paired up the 4-so to just be tempai on the 3. Oh, but there's the Tsumo. And also to let's see, Ueda, miss.
Not today.
Reached simultaneous though 2000 all. Great for Mizuguchi. Also the 3-mon draw would have been good for Hata if she had gone with 1-mon. Would have been able to Tonki the 4-so, potentially. But no harm, no foul. Gets to this safe position. Didn't feel the need to drop something that wasn't guaranteed safe against dealer Riichi. That's very understandable. Could be
And one thing to
exchanging
keep in mind
places.
is the gap right now is 11,200 points between Mizuguchi and Sugimura right now. So that's one hand. That's a dealer Mangan. It's very, very achievable. And we'll see how this next deal is, but I always like cheering for an underdog. I always like seeing someone have a comeback from behind victory. It gives me hope sometimes, you know. If they can recover from impossible odds, I can too.
Right? I definitely agree.
We do open the door here, which is quite interesting, although perhaps not the greatest hand.
And not the worst, though. I would put it in solidly average territory. Maybe even slightly
It's better than
above
this,
average.
I would say.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Sugimura. So pretty decent Hypai. It's pretty okay. Not wow, 4-so. That really helps a lot.
Yeah. I'll have to check again. Does Mizuguchi have that potential mixed triple sequence, 2, 3, 4 of each suit? Not that we need to be like super being aggressive and looking for value, but you've always got to keep that eye open. Can I squeeze an extra 2 hand out of this? And I think the answer this time is yes. But we have Dora 2, so it's definitely not needed. And maybe at this point, cutting the 1-2 pin is the move here for me, at least.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit of a confusing draw because previously we were looking at the 7-8-mon as just a sequence and the 5-mon was going to fall out. Now that we have 8-mon pair, we could treat the 5-7 as a Kanchan. And the question becomes, which do you value more? This 5-7 Kanchan, this 1-2 Penchan, the 8-9-9 floating shape, maybe trim a tile off of that. Mizuguchi will just play out the 5-mon. Perhaps it signals that she's not married to the idea of holding both tiles of the door.
Yeah, exactly. I guess at the end of the day, for the dealer here, win rate is more important than value.
If you get something like Riichi Fedora, that's more than strong enough to just slam.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a 6-mon I see?
6 is going to be the test of that.
I feel like every time, Chiral, that you've made a suggestion, the draws have come in perfectly for that suggestion. If the 1-2 had been the play, we'd be sitting pretty here.
It's the curse of being a commentator. Like, it never works in my own games, but it works whenever I'm watching someone else. Clearly, I need to play more like a commentator and just be really aggressive all the time, going for maximum value all the time.
Yeah, rather than play the game, you've got to put yourself in third-person mode and then just call.
If I were just a random person or a professional player, what would I have to say about my moves?
Exactly.
This is pretty interesting though from Hata, right? We do have the potential of big three or possibly little three dragons. We've already called one dragon triplet. I think one green's gone by, so that's going to be a little bit less likely to be called, but a lot of honors here. It's the kind of hand that plays itself.
It,
Very hard to know what to do. Well, it's very easy to know what to do, but it's very hard to change course sometimes.
it's kind of interesting. Hata has done really well in this game to build hands out of seemingly just a pile of random tiles, and I don't doubt that she'll be able to find her way through this hand as well. So still believing in this 1-2 pin.
I wish you luck. I hope you see it. But we do see two of the three pins right here.
And one in the previous hand as well for Hata, so there is one left, but only one.
Speaking of 1-2 shapes, there's a very real chance that the three of characters is going to be our final weight for Hikino. And yeah, it's exactly the same situation we saw earlier, right? Where a player decided to keep the 6 over the 1-2.
Mhm.
But in this situation, the 1-2 is kept. So it's interesting to see sort of what the players do in very similar situations. We do have a reach, though, waiting on that 3 of dots from our dealer. I don't have too much faith in it winning, but it definitely could go to exhaustive draw and score Mizuguchi 3,000 points.
Ever since the 8-mon cut, eyes will have been firmly fixed on that hand. Door discard early is pretty telling usually. But a lot has happened since then. There was the 9-so cut out of the hand, so maybe it just had too many shapes. I'd kind of expect the way to be better than this penchant.
Okay, second Dragon Call. We've played the green, so we know it's not anything too special, but still, one away. This is going to be a perfect opportunity, I think, for Sugimura to attack defensively. Maybe, okay. I was going to say, maybe consider going for something like 7 pairs if there are any safe tiles. I actually didn't look to see which of the tiles were safe, but no, just play a safe pair. That's absolutely fine too.
Yeah, not a lot has been shown to be safe. Ooh, 7 pins. So Pinzu in general are not that safe.
Yeah, there've been so few played by anyone on this table right now.
Oh, that was out. She had the Mongon look, but cannot continue the fight.
So I guess it's all about that one remaining 3 pin.
No,
Though realistically, I'm pretty sure unless we flip Aerodora, the hand's going to be worth about the same amount just from getting the exhausted draw payments as it would be from sumoing.
that can definitely be the case. Of course, that's what you Riichi, right? To flip the Ueda, right?
Yes. And to drive the other players off, right? Because if you're dealing and you're going to reach, then hopefully that means the other players on this table are not going to be as aggressive towards you. Because anyone really wants to deal in. They don't know what you have, but maybe they've got some idea, but not a very clear idea.
I do like that 3-mon from Hata. Had the choice between cutting the 3-mon and the 1-mon. If neither tile is safe against an early 5-mon, I prefer to cut the 3-mon rather than the 1. A lot of the times the 5 can indicate a 1-4 or a 6-9 weight. More likely to be a 1-4 since the 8-mon came out already. The Dora specifically.
Six. So I got excited for a second now. I was like,
Finally set up the
one
Suji.
tile. No, but this is going to be Tenpai for Hata playing for that Tenpai payment. I mean, we could always see the 2 come out, but it's more than likely just to claim 1,100 points, which would be a 3,000 point swing on Sugimura. Sugimura is not Tenpai in his hand, so
It would be a notable
very
swing.
much worth fighting for.
Hikino almost got there herself, but finally has to back away. Two so she can
At this
see
point.
3 of the 4 so. You could
Yeah,
make
one chance means it's safe, right?
surely. It's an excuse to
We
shove
thought,
the 2 so. In roll 3 it gets
I
worse for sure, but
yeah. I can't remember if the 5 of bamboo there in her very own discards was played before or after the reach. But either way, the 2 is not worth pushing in her mind. I think she knows that Sugimura is also not Tenpai. And much as that 3,000 points is huge, with the scores this close, with the dealer in reach, you're going to get another South 3. You have time.
the 4th copy of the South.
So this is, I'm going to say, a huge win for Mizuguchi.
Absolutely.
4,000 points closer to everyone else on the top here.
Mm.
And the gap
Just about.
becomes Mangan non-dealer,
Yes.
basically.
2 Honba, so that accommodates the rest of the gap. And of course,
Exactly.
the 1 Riichi stick to collect again.
Yeah, that's significant. 1,000 points when the scores are this close. That's quite a lot.
South 3 in general, usually a very swingy round. It becomes even more important to win when you've got extra points in the middle of the table to collect. Ooh, I love the lower shapes in each of the suits. 2, 3. Just the 2, 3
Definitely
so.
2, 3, 4 is achievable, yeah. I always wish it was 1, 2, 3, because at least then we could then go for a chanter as well, that outside hand, but this is actually going to be a really fast round for everyone, I think.
Nice upgrade 6 so. And doesn't have a confirmed pair yet. Of course, the 4-mon is paired up, but we prefer to use that as a 2, 3, 4 shape, so won't lock that in as our pair mentally just yet. And generally speaking, it's pretty good in the early round to not mentally lock yourself into a pair because so much can happen over the course of the next 6 or so draws.
Exactly, yeah. And even if we draw the 3, it's still got that 2, 3, 4, 4 shape, right? We've still got a 1, 4 hidden inside the pair, so it's fine. It doesn't have to be the pair, but it could still be a pair and a sequence. So definitely keeping 2 is worth it. Oh, that's interesting. Now we have a bit of an awkward overlap. A shape I very much dislike. 2, 4, 5, 5. Sorry, 2, 4, 4, 5.
Yeah, but that's only 1 discard away from being a 4, 4, 5, which feels a lot better.
Yes. Because it's a great shape if you draw the 3. If you never draw the 3, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble when you're relying on that for 2 shapes.
Yes.
Fortunately, Mizuguchi has lots of other tiles to draw around. Although she completes 1 shape, so it's limiting her options.
So, yeah. Probably also to mention that Hata does have Dora 2 right now. Definitely isn't the fastest hand here. That would go to Sugimura, I believe. But with Dora 2, Hata's going to have a vested interest in trying to get first place in one fell swoop here.
Absolutely. Oh, that's not really the shape you're looking for to drop the 2 Mon.
I think I still prefer 4, 5, 4, 4, 5, 8, 9 to 2, 2, 4, 5. So it says 2, 4, 4, 5.
I was going to
Just for
sacrifice
the
the Dora
overlap there.
acceptance.
Yeah. So we're probably going to see the 1 pin get cut here just to really force the all simples. That'd be my play anyway, because I'm happy to win anything Dora 2 in Hata's position.
This is also an awkward Dora draw for Sugimura, who had her pair. It was going to be the 7 pin, and now that's in question.
Okay, finally that 2, 3, 4 is looking a little bit more likely. But it's still kind of awkward.
Now we're probably going to see the 1, 3 pin, yeah. We have the Nathanael switch available to us. Oh, here we go. Is it time to cut this? Well, actually, it's a summon chance, so maybe you cut.
Yeah.
Oh, gonna play.
Still not got ahead, but we can draw 2, 3, 5, or 7.
Mhm.
There's definitely so many ways that hand gets to Tenpai with that shape.
I could have also chosen to cut one of the Mon tiles and wait for 147 pin to come in.
True.
But perhaps this leaves
And
time
that
and
is
option.
a perfectly acceptable Tenpai.
Mm.
1, 4. The 4 gives all inside, the 1 doesn't. But I'm probably not going to. Oh, we could see the 1 come out here, though. From our dealer.
This is a bit tricky. Will
The 1 does come out, so it's a Reach Ipatsu! Not
Hihudora.
the pin through button, not the Uradora either. The 4 would have been much worse, but that is a huge win for, I believe, was it Hata?
Sugimura.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're going to see Sugimura pull
full value.
ahead.
And if you include the 1,600 in the middle, that means that Sugimura well out ahead, almost 10,000 points there.
Hata is last heal though, and Hata's the one who has the best chance of taking first place here from Sugimura. Would say though, Hikino can easily take third place back from Mizuguchi thanks to that deal in, unfortunately.
Yeah, although that win does make the chances of first a little bit worse, it at least makes your chances at second better. So if Sugimura was going to win, it's better to have taken it off of Mizuguchi than Sumo or any other player, at least from
Yeah,
Hata's
exactly.
perspective. And she will have a chance here with the East pair to play for this when door drawn for Sugimura.
Looks like it's going to be one of those awkward hands where everyone has, well, where 2 players have 1 Dora each, and neither player knows exactly what to do with it. Especially in a tense or last situation like this.
For Hata, it's pretty easy, I think, to hold on to the door for a bit and try to Tonki on it later, perhaps, after calling the East.
I can see
Hikino
that, yeah.
will hold the door just because she needs the value. Sugimura
Mm.
doesn't really need the door. She's in first, but at the same time, she doesn't really want to drop it and give it to other players. So she might just hold it because she doesn't want to see it sitting on the table.
Yeah, I would be very much looking to avoid the worst case scenario of Hata just suddenly getting Dora 3 Green Dragon. That would be the worst case scenario and very, very scary. But this may not even go that long. Mizuguchi's hand is already 1 away from Tenpai.
Potential to end up on a bad weight, but could also just be Pichu as well.
She needs to take another look at her hand. Does she have a chance of getting into second place, or is she just going to be playing to avoid last? There's definitely a small chance this becomes Itsu, perhaps, if we can draw the 2 and 3 of Bamboo.
Mm.
That would add 2 extra hand. Otherwise, looks like this would be a pretty tough ask to get a position gaining win there. But still, even
Yeah,
just confirming not last is going to be valuable.
this gap of just under 13,000 points, it's a little bit too far. Now, if a Riichi stick comes out, Mongan, Sumo, or Mizuguchi would overtake into second place, but that is a tough ask because at that point you'd be chasing another Tenpai, or at least fighting against one.
I think it's worth it in that situation just because of how the
There it
format
is.
works. Oh, we have that 2 of Bamboo, needing the 3.
An
Still with
instant
the
commit.
reach
Mizuguchi was really
to
hoping.
Pinfu.
There
That
weren't
manga's definitely doable.
there weren't that
Sorry,
many paths for the hand. It was going to just sit there at Ishanten forever. The 2-so 3-so idea is the only one that gives you flexibility, and just as you jumped all over it, so did Mizuguchi. No hesitation in playing towards the value here. Yeah, I'm just going to commit here with the 1, so I'm not even going to take the extra acceptance that having 2 pairs offers. She sees her path forward. Now, the question in my mind is, if she gets a chance to call for a Tenpai, will she do so to just shut down any chance of Hikino coming back?
I think it's a very interesting question. For me at least, it would be based on how far into the hand we are. I think at this point, I would probably pass on the first Santo or something like that, would not cheat. But maybe if we're at row 3 and I'm a little bit scared of someone else winning, yeah, it's a tough decision to make.
Here's a spot very important for Sugimura. Ishantema had a chance to widen the shapes and could not do it. This is an opportunity to con, and from 4th place, Hikino will take that chance. Flips a 2-pin.
Is going to be having a moment, I think, given that she just cut the 4 to wait on the 7 to make 6, 7, 8.
That's true. Well, new plan, I guess. Meantime, Hata is stuck on Chitoi. That's a way to use Adora. Definitely a way to come into this game. Come into 1st place in this game.
Still make sequences from it, but we need to get that dragon triplet to make that even possible, and that's looking less and less likely. Dora 2, though, for Sugimura, if they're willing to change plan and not wait on that 7. I do like the attempts to at least build a Suji trap there. Played the 4. The 2's been played really early. If you're not twigging it's a pairs round for them, then maybe you might believe the 1 is safe down the line.
Hikino's sacrificing the new 2-pin Dora because she just values the Dora pair that she already has. I wonder if it's just a little too tough to sacrifice the So acceptance. Here it is, a Tempai on the 3-So. Mizuguchi, Riichi, Itsu.
3-So enjoys here.
2 chances at Ueda. Hata cannot deal into this.
No. Yeah, we didn't get the Pinfu, unfortunately, but it's all good.
Oh, it's going to come out!
Oh, and it comes out Ipatsu!
That's going to be an overtake. Riichi, Ipatsu, Itsu, and 1, 2, Ueda.
2 Ueda, oh my.
That's a Hanemon. Mizuguchi with the Itsu comeback. Hata desperate to play that hand for 1st place. It was Ishan-ten for her own potential manga on 12,000 points, but that will instead fall in the favor of Mizuguchi. That con adding an extra Dora as well, so it will be Sugimura, the winner of this game. Mizuguchi claims the 2nd with that gorgeous Itsu she forced into existence. Hata attempted a 1st place, ends up falling to 3rd in the end, and Hikino could not come back.
If you've only just tuned in, you tuned in at the perfect time. What a lovely reversal. That was a really interesting match, right?
That
saw
was quite
a lot of not much happened to start off with. I think people just weren't quite getting their hands, they weren't quite getting lucky. But the second we hit that South round, suddenly everyone's hitting their hands. That's really fun.
It's fantastic. Patience in the 1st round, and then things exploded. Sugimura with East 1 Monkan Sumo 4,000 all to pull ahead, and then she maintained that lead for the rest of the game. Great attempts by Hata, creating hands out of thin air into to just being able to pressure, and Mizuguchi, who fell behind, was in 3rd place for quite a bit, made an attempt on her dealership, and finally that all last Mangan 2 and Hanemon, I should say, with the Ueda to jump into 2nd place. Well played all around.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna take anything away from that, it's finding ways to build value, because obviously when your hand starts off as not so great, taking the opportunity to decide, you know what, I can maybe sacrifice a bit of efficiency anyway because my hand is not so good, and just try and build something that's worth something, even if it doesn't necessarily pay off. Having that option for that value, we saw that with the Itsu at the end. We saw that with, I believe, some of Hata's hands.
The flush,
as you say, in the middle there, the flush, exactly. Like being able to sort of take a bad hand, and even though it's a low odds win, it's a low odds win no matter what you do, because your initial draw was quite unfortunate, really. But being able to build something out of it, that's something that I'm going to be trying to take away from that, I think.
That's true. You don't have to have the Dora in order to win with value. In fact, it was actually Hikino that ended up with a lot of door triplets, but could not get the tempi fast enough in order to be able to fight, or even fought with the door 3 and lost out as a result. So it wasn't necessarily the Dora, the original door that was creating the value. It was the Yaku, the Riichi, and, well, Sumo as well. Just Sumo when you've got 3-sided weight and Pinfu. That sort of thing was creating the value for players.
Exactly, yeah. And we do have 2 more games for you today, but I will be tagging out. Thanks for having me on the stream, and for the next match we will be having the wonderful Jenn, I believe.
There's the unmute button. Hello.
Welcome,
Hello.
Jenn. Exciting Itsu to end the game. Gyakuten for a second.
Yeah, I saw the 3 so and I was like, oh, maybe it's not going to work. You have to believe it though. It's the win condition. You have to go for it. But not to see it not just win, but also win on the Ipatsu turn was very exciting.
Ipatsu is just always exciting. I have never come across a time when Ipatsu is not exciting. There have been times when I've hated it, but that doesn't take away from the actual excitement that it brings.
All right, well, thank you so much, Chiral. Look forward to seeing you soon. And
Yes, have a good one.
Jenn,
I will be watching this match
we've got
with interest.
Game 2 coming up. Any thoughts before we take a peek at the players?
I just have a lot of plugs, I guess, right now. If you like this commentary, we're also doing commentary on the JPML English channel. We even have some paywall protected, I guess, matches coming up this month. Possibly, if we get enough commentators, but we have got permission to stream some of the ones that are behind JPML's Japanese site paywall, so if you become a super fan, you can watch those expert commentary and get the like actual live coverage. It does get into time zones, but they're really good matches. We watched the WRC League finals last month and it was really cool. Also, I just did a collaboration with Yusong on his channel, and it has been received very well. We did some roasting, some Yusong roast, and it was very fun. So, I think those are the main plugs. We have a brand new show coming. I'm very excited about that. So I was actually working on that and not necessarily watching the stream. I was listening, but not watching. Starting on Thursday, it's gonna be a non-mahjong show on the Mahjong Jenn channel, so that will be fun.
Very good.
And yeah, super duper badass girl team on that show, so keep your eyes open for that.
All right, looking forward to it. And of course, we'll have our eyes on the players for game number 2. Same teams, but looks like everyone is switching out with a new teammate.
Yeah, I think all of the games today, nobody played 2 games. You'll see that more in the second half. Sometimes it happens in the first half when schedules don't work, but generally teams try to allow each player to be on stream at least once. So in that first dealer seat, we have Misato Kura from Team Kame, Mahjong Kame. In the south seat, Taeko Nakano. She was on team last year with the Nikaido sisters. This year, Rumi Nikaido has stepped away from most pro matches and also resigned from her M League team member position. So it is just Taeko and Nakano on the MiiPro team this year with, I think it was Mizuguchi played in game 1. And in the west seat is Mami and Ueda for Wonderful Days in Chiba. We did see her a little bit last year, I believe. Oh shoot, this is the wrong name. The wrong name. It's not Sakurarai. That is definitely not her. I don't. description. Oh, I have it right here, actually. Sorry, this is the image is incorrect. This is Karin Kitagawa for Team Pixie, not Sakurai. So erase that from your
You never saw it.
from your eyes. Yes. Let's get rid of that screen.
All right, let's hop in then to the second game.
Yeah, Karin Kitagawa will be playing for Team Pixie. God, now I hope that I got the video name right.
Of course, in the series, we saw two teams out ahead, two teams in the negatives, and it's balanced out a little bit. Kitagawa, indeed, in the north seat.
Yes.
We've got
the name is correct here.
Yep, Team Pixie is catching up now, so we could see a super competitive final session soon. It is, of course, Kuna in the dealer seat, Nakano here in the south seat with Hatsu pair, Ueda. Single set of the Hatsu will fall away. We will not see a pull. Tuso Dora, nice pair up. Kuna doing well as dealer with Dora 2. And with the Dora 2, the other shapes accompanying it are relatively strong. If she can find one more block and use the Tuso as the pair, that would be the path forward. I was a little bit delayed on as I was going around the table on the players, but that is not quite the shape you're looking for as the dealer. Still, Ishantem. Kitagawa west cut, not so useful in this hand. And now a commitment to be made. You can play for the Shabo here and sacrifice the door. Riichi Mahjong is super strong. But cutting the two pin.
I think it's pretty common for that to lock in the pair where that middleweight is and then keep the one that's stuck to the open-ended.
Yeah, it is sad if you have to give up a door, but you don't necessarily need to. There's always the triplet draws of the Tuso or the 4-pin. Do you ever not take the Pihu there and just slam the Shabo Riichi?
Not with the 4 weight, personally. Maybe if it was an edge weight or something better, but she has no hesitation whatsoever.
I think this is definitely the standard approach. Riichi, as dealer, is going to apply a lot of pressure. Kitagawa needs to rethink this hand. We'll go 9-so, 9-so. Ipatsumo. Nakano also was looking pretty strong. Ishantan position, but now has to decide how far she wants to play this. We'll hold on to the 8-pin for now. Ooh, and a triplet. So now it's efficient, but
updated image. Sorry, there's an updated image available for you as well in the
great
materials for after the game.
No good. 9, so that's the tempai, and we're gonna see the fight. 8-pin will go through. Riichi Pihu Dora 1. 5-8 mon is the weight.
Yeah, another insta reach. Insta reach. I need a
Ooh, and insta win.
Yes, it is always exciting, I tell you.
Ipatsu again, you're right. Ichipatsu Pihu Dora. That's going to be the Mangan and collecting the sticks as well. Nakano off to the good start. Kura, understandable Riichi, classic Riichi. did falter this time. The draw is not going her direction, but we'll have another chance in the south round as the dealer. Nakano getting off to a great start. To Mondora this time. Pie seems to be okay. To Mondora doesn't fit nicely into this hand. It creates a shape, but it's a kanchan. And there are a couple pairs that are tricky to handle. Ueda.
There's 3 pairs in there. Yeah, she had the 4s separated, but
Yeah, maybe
pair
a
there with
couple pairs too many.
you know how in M League they have a thing that goes across the screen that says reach?
Yeah.
I need one that says, what was it, 4 pairs with the West? Was that West paired up? Anyway, I need one that says insta reach, and I need he or she using a American accent saying it. I have 4 pairs. You kind of have to consider the all pairs hand when you have that many. Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly, for sure. It's rough, but if it's the only path forward in the hand, then that's the path you're going to end up taking. Rough shapes as well for Kuna. Come and pull for Ueda. And still holding that 1 mon in case we can use the Dora. And maybe even if we do draw a Dora, we can think about the 1, 2, 3 Tantrica chance. Ah, the pay. It was pairs. I find that the North Wind, no matter how many times it's cut, I always pair it up for my 7 pairs hand.
Yeah. This is the one you're talking about, the 1, 2, 3. It feels too far for me. Ooh, a triple up in the 4 dot, and suddenly this hand doesn't feel quite as bad as it did with all those pairs and no Dora.
Oh, another triple. Hang on a second. We're actually building something now.
Oh, 2 Jenn Shunten.
So I'll go possible. Interesting choice here. The 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku chance. You could play the 3 pin with just immediately 8 mon. That was not the cut I was expecting.
Talking yesterday about with tips and tricks, lots of things he didn't expect, so I started talking about my bingo card for this hand.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did not
bingo
have 8
card.
mon on the bingo card. I'm just trying to hold good pair options. And Nakano will decide to cut away that 4 pin before it becomes too dangerous. Understandable. Shouldn't really need.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the West paired up in another hand right here, Kura's hand. So she's not going to be able to get that Suanko. She might be able to get 3 concealed triples with the 1, but no, there's one. It's a door indicator. Where's the other one? Is it on the board? It's on the board. So no, yeah, her triples are all dead. Her non-tripled up yet pairs. So it's gonna be really tough to get anything except Tempai in that hand.
But held on to that 1 mon for so long. The turn she discards it, the turn immediately afterwards pulls in the door. In the meantime, Kitagawa has been on this Tempai for quite a while. Oh, sorry, Ishanten for quite a while. Now gets to choose which weight. We'll go with the 2, 5 pin.
And it's a reach. That was not an insta reach. It was a well thought out reach.
I feel like a lot of
Two
times you have an idea of which one you want to take, but it's things can happen in between, for sure. There's a tempo with door 2. We're gonna see a dama.
Everyone's worried about that two bamboo. The two bamboo is the tile that made Kitagawa Tenpai, and that's what we call irime, so or hairime. So that's what you. It did look dangerous because she really needed it. She just happened to get it one before a Tenpai, and that is Itsumo Menpin Sumo.
1326. I get caught by that a lot. I just will have a tile that I know is really, really bad and refuse to drop it, and they always have it tripled up, or they have love drawn that into Tenpai, and I just like, man, if only I could have pushed this. If only I could have convinced myself that they had it already, then I would have been fine.
I mean, it could just as easily have gone the other way. She could have drawn the 2 dot and discarded that 3, and it would be the same discards.
Yeah.
So they're both gonna look equally dangerous.
It especially happens with like honor tiles. There's a show by honor, and they just have the Anko already.
All right, this is looking like a pretty good hand for the dealer turn of Ueda. You sorry, go.
It's in the scores. Nakano and Kitagawa have really pulled ahead just because they've been the only players to win a hand so far. But Kuda has fallen behind because of the direct deal-ins, so there's more pressure on her than the other players. Ueda, as the dealer, can just win one medium-sized hand and immediately be among the leaders. In fact, can even take the lead here. So another pair is kind of interesting. The hand's starting to overflow with pin tiles. But what a two-so pair. We're seeing these hands go vertical. Nakano, another couple.
Yeah, Nakano especially. She was the one who had all the 2 concealed triples last hand as well, and she's already got 2 concealed triples now and 2 pairs that are not dead yet.
Not yet. Maybe this is the hand. 7 pins, no good. Shantan though.
And she has 3 other pairs, so she's just 1 Gen Shanten, and she could call if she needs to. She has really good tiles that you want to wait when you have those Shabo weights.
Yeah, the
Edge
one
tiles and north.
exactly. 4 pin problematic. That is a good shape. Throw it back. Let's go. 1 pin, one's cut, but that's okay. Wouldn't be too surprised to see the last 1 pin in the wall with these discards.
And the 2 players who have total negative scores are the ones who have positive scores in this game.
That's a good catch. So this game could also mix up the standings a little bit. We saw that in game 1. It's also not going to help. Sort of the backbone of an Itsu potentially for Kuna, but it's going to take some work to get there. I think missing 3 mon, 7 mon, 9 mon. North has not come out now, has it? That's actually an interesting question if the North does come out. Nakano is somewhat inclined to Pon because it is Yakuhai, and you have Toi Toi, and you have potential Sanako as well if you Tsumo. And there's the Chitoi Tenpai 4 with slamming the Riichi, waiting on the 5 pin. Oh, but Suanko Tenpai found! And the 3 pin has safe entry as well.
That is 0 Gen Shanten.
That is Jenn Tenpai?
Genpai.
Genpai. Okay, I see. It is the 1 pin and also the North, I believe. I think those are live in the wall. draws the Dora. That goes through somehow.
It's minimum if she wins on a discard. Oh, that was so close to the north. When if she wins on a discard, it's still gonna be a minimum manga on hand.
I believe it was Tempai declined.
I mean, Ueda is reach as well with waiting for Chitori. So
Oh, is this why? It's because we have Itsu as well. And Dora. Kura's been playing
alright, reach.
3 Riichis, 1 Suako, 1 Riichi Itsu, 1 Dealer Chitoi. And Ueda's 5-pin is paired up in Kura's Riichi, so that tile is almost done. There's the 1-pin!
Not the Yakuman hand, but that is Mangon.
Riichi, Toi
Mangon.
Toi, Sanko.
No Uradora. That is a score that Nakano's team absolutely needs, though.
Pulling ahead once again. That's twice now in this game that Kura has taken a value Riichi and has lost it out to Nakano's Mangon. Still, I would take those Riichis every single time. There's nothing you can do about it.
And like, I'm not sure how many people remember this, but last season, the second time we saw Nakano on the broadcast table, she had a really rough game. It's just every single thing she tried dealt into others. She had so many reaches. And now we're seeing her win all of her reaches. It's really, I don't know, refreshing. Redemption. It feels good, man.
For sure. In the long run, when you take good Riichis, you should get good results, even if it doesn't always happen immediately. Off to a great start here. Holding one of the 8-mon rather Dora, with 2. And now a triplet is a huge draw for Kitagawa. Really was worried that she might have to play 7 pairs, but the 9-mon really fixes the options for this hand. Could even slim down from the pin shape to try to lock in some extra tile acceptance around the 7, so.
Interesting. Triple up with a $5. She chooses to keep the floating 8, the Dora. See it again, right? 8 here.
It's understandable from last place to try to value the door a little bit more than usual. They're just rewarded for keeping the extra tile acceptance in the Sozu. Now gets to declare Riichi on 2-mon and the Red Dragon.
And Kura is out.
Gambutsu destroys the hand, but it's safe. Kura not in a position to challenge here.
Ooh, but how many other safe tiles does she have now? She got another fill-in while she was waiting, so this might turn into a Mawashi instead. She could come back and Tempai again. Looks like a Sanchoku, a nice little Sanchoku hand if there was no reach.
Back away.
Reach hand.
Not small. It's the lower side. Each small. And no Ura. But she should get some bonus fu.
Should be 1,300 all.
Sounds right. Kitagawa continues. Every time Nakano wins a hand, it's been a follow-up by Kitagawa. Not going away.
Look at Nakano, she can hold on to that first place spot that already brings the minus nearly 60 to just about 0. The first places just create such big swings with these rules because of the 20-point Oka. So when you score it, when you calculate these scores, it's going to be 30,000 as the base. So you get whatever you have above 30,000 plus. If you're first place, you get an extra 40. Basically 40,000 points. If you are in second place, you get an extra 10. Third place loses 10, and last place loses 20.
As the dealer gets to hold on to the seat a little bit longer. And 3 Sodora not held, but her shapes are relatively strong. In fact, 3 Sodora is actually kind of sparse. I don't think anyone has one. As far as cut a pair,
Yeah.
breaking the Shabo in favor of the Penchon.
I mean, she locked in a completed sequence and kept 6 blocks, it looks like. Nakano moving towards a flush, possibly. And Ueda keeping that full straight option open. See, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is only 5 blocks, just one away.
Needs to play Kura. Aiming for the Manzu. Can they get the Itsu as well? Didn't win the last time around, but second chance at it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always, I always feel like I can't get it if I get it the first time. I don't. Maybe I just don't feel like going for it anymore. Like it didn't work last time. Why should it work this time?
I did have to
I'm
give up a
petty.
Dora to make this play, so making her attentions very clear to the board. South is Yakuhai for Kura as well, and Kitagawa holding a lot of these honor tiles. Play out the Chun first. Another Dora.
Hanging on for that. Yeah, it's a very small chance that Kitagawa has to get a Sanshoku, and she's holding on to that 5 dot for it. Right here.
Yeah, and even if there wasn't Sanchoku chance, I still like holding the 5-pin just as a general improvement of shape, potentially, off of the Penchon.
One away for Kura with her flush. Nakano seems to have kind of given up on her flush. Maybe because they're going for the same suit. No, they're not going for the same suit. They're going for different suits, but Kura is not using any dots that are useful for Nakano. Now, Nakano, get rid of this 6 or not? Maybe she's worried about Kura's flush, and so she held on to that 6 a little bit later in the hand.
I think so, and the other thing is that even these honors aren't necessarily safe. She's dropping all these once-cut dragons, but the south is the important tile here. That one will get called into Tempai. And in the meantime, Nakano also has Chitoi options. Oh, there's the last door, I believe.
1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Went away there with a couple open-ended weights.
All these dragons ended up pairing up.
There is Tempai for Ueda. Waiting for the 3/6 character. Of course, nobody wants to discard those characters because of Kura's call and sort of obvious discards.
This is a big chance then for Ueda to find a Tsumo. Maybe even Hanuman, if she can find an Ueda as well.
Wrong side. This might actually bring a little bit of attention away from Kura's hand.
Oh, Tenpai.
Ooh. And Nakano holds on to 2 of those winning tiles for Ueda.
Ooh, each pair now. That increases its safety. It also means that she has another path in. Could go Tuso. She could cut a Diamond because she has East seat, East route as well. Lots of different options here.
East does not look really good on that board to discard.
Right? Definitely couldn't drop it as 1, but as 2, she's willing to make that play.
Yep. Nakano's hand would have been so great if she did not have to hold on to that 3-6, but it's a good thing that she held on to the 6 because that led her to continue quitting when she drew the 3 as well.
Hmm.
If she had the 6 in her hand, she might have been able to talk herself into pushing that 3 character, and that would have dealt in. But since she had the 6 floating already and had somewhat given up on the hand because of how dangerous the characters look, she actually was able to justifiably fold easily.
Players will safely escape. Kitagawa drawing the Green Dragon by hanging on to it. Will only pay out 1,500 points, as will Nakano too. The 2 players that were Tenpai.
And that means no change in the standings at all.
Also brings us to the dealership of Kura again.
The only difference is that Ueda is very close to being within a Mangan Sumo range of Kitagawa. Of 2nd place. As we go into the south round, players will start to calculate backwards to what they're going to need by all last to get into the position that they want to be in. I think for Kura to get out of last place, she's got to get probably at least another 6,000 points or so. That would put her within Mangan Sumo range of Ueda for the last hand. So, of course, the calculations change with each hand, but you need to start counting backwards from South 4, what you need in South 4, and what you need to get that by South 3, by South 2, as each player loses their 2nd turn at dealer.
This hand looking promising, accumulating Mon tiles, but also Yoko High pair, so can play however she chooses. Nakano as well, aiming to shut down the Kura dealership once again. With a strong hand, potentially a P2 that can incorporate the 2 Pandora. Was Mehun Chitoi one of the bingo options from yesterday? We do have another Montal coming into the hand of Ueda, so this could be kind of exciting. There's the Chun. No poem. Oh, but a 7-pin fill. Great for Nakano. Right, looking strong and rewarded for the no call also. Ueda pulling in the 7 Mon. Potential Itsu? Yeah, gonna play the 5 Mon immediately. Not committing to the flush because that gives up the Dora. Great Kanchan fills all across the board. Kanchan and Penchan fills. Still Ishanten for Nakano. I think perhaps Kitagawa has had the toughest hand to play. And this was a Tenpai, declined. Kura says, I can do better. And she is moving in the direction of a Tanya. Another 7 mon, so this is Tempai. It is just Riichi
It's
Dora.
Senpai, but it's it's pesky Dora.
The solution is to drop the Dora. You heard it here. The Dora bothers you, throw it away.
It's in the way of that hand. There's so much potential, and you have to just give up on all of it because of this one measly little Han.
Kura finds a Tempai. It is on a Tonki of the Dealan tile of Ueda, which means it could be a problem if she draws an improvement. The 4-pin, I guess, is maybe the one improvement that saves her. Doesn't matter. There's the Tsumo from Ueda. Riichi, Tsumo, Dora, Ura 2! Didn't need the Itsu for the extra 2 Han. It's a Mangan Tsumo nonetheless.
200 points in the continuances, and that puts her up into second place. That's what we were talking about. Going into this hand, we said she is within Mangan Sumo range of second place with Kitagawa, and now she can very clearly see a path to first place for this game.
Huge win, and Kura has just had no luck on her dealership. Both times taking at least 4,000 points of loss. At no fault of her own, Nakano now gets the chance to respond here in her own dealership. Ueda catching up. Kitagawa has been catching up. What can Nakano show here? A door in hand. Hatsu pair. Callable 2,900, perhaps. Double south available for Ueda, as well as a triplet of the 3-mon. Reasonable shades for Kitagawa. Strong and fast. Hypai. Nakano does hold one of the Dora. Where there is a Dora, there is a chance. We already. Nakano makes another improvement. Let the first green dragon go by without opening the hand, but the second one will also let that one go by. I typically am inclined to call, but there is no pair in the hand, so that is a little bit awkward. Even then, I still generally call that. But that doesn't limit the value.
In a Tempai without a pair.
The thing is, one of the components of that hand is that some of the shapes are awkward. And so I believe one of those shapes will be my pair, optimistically perhaps. Just get a nice 3-so fill.
You need you to teach a seminar about how to be optimistic about hands.
Optimistic has kind of killed me this season, but...
Oh, yeah. Just totally killed you getting first place in the Texas tournament.
Oh, that's a whole different story. Seven?
If that is being killed, I am ready.
8-mon. Some draws in the favor of Kura here. Maybe 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku. Yeah, cut the 5-mon ahead of time. We'll see what happens. Could find something valuable here. The problem is Nakano Ishanten. Ueda also advancing quickly. And Kitagawa has been really close as well. This is a pretty wide Ishanten. This is a bit awkward. Will 9-mon committing to the idea of the 789 Sanchoker? Definitely efficient to just cut the 9-so away, but keeping the value option open. Understandable given the scoreline. Oh, hello. This is Sa-Anko Tenpai, Su-Anko Ishanten,
With the
Ueda.
south, yeah, south is a value tile as well. It's
Yeah,
the round wind
it's already a
and
mangan.
seat wind. It's a double south for Ueda here.
7, so middleweight can be upgraded. 7, so it's the door you'd almost rather be on any other shape. Ooh, Will Khan. Chiral noted yesterday there were a lot of cons as well. Today we've seen 3, I believe.
New door is the 9 dot. Goodbye, 9 dot.
That helps Kura if she can get to a Tenpai. Still Ishantem.
A little bit wider one away for a Nakano.
Not by much because the Green Dragon is dead, but just give her a chance to cut away from that 8-mon. Can we see not that Sotile? Anything 5 through 8 would be a welcome sight for Ueda. But Kura's gonna find the 8 first and slam a Riichi. Riichi, Sanshoku, Dora. A couple Una chances. Tsumo would also be Haneman. This is the best chance that Kura's gotten for value since her dealership. But just as we say that, Ueda finds the Tsumo.
That's a Dora and a Tsumo Hanemon.
The Haneman for Ueda. Once again, shutting down the hand of Kura. And this is also going to overtake Nakano. Nakano, the dealer, is going to take the Oyakaburi penalty, 6,000 points, with a huge opportunity to confirm a first place.
This is rough for Nakano as well because she really is going to have a hard time getting back into first place now with no more dealerships.
Certainly you can pick up 12,000 point net exchange with a Mangan Sumo on Ueda's turn, so that will take out a chunk of the work that you have to do, but might not get that opportunity. A great starting hand for Ueda.
That also pushes Kura down in the negatives. The black sticks coming out.
Her team did have points to spare, so could afford to have an unlucky game. Actually, lately I've been thinking a lot about this position where in the game you're in a desperate position, but you don't necessarily need to make up all that ground in this game. How to best approach, and what if you do need to make up all the ground in this game? That's the best way to play. It looks like she's going to go for a value, cutting away from the 7-8 so, playing for the Honitsu.
Ueda's hand is so efficient and so many three-sided weight, open-ended weight, nothing but great weights. And right here.
And there's too many now. Gonna have to decide what to trim away.
It's one of the problems. My wallet is too small for my $100 bills.
I wish. Although with ideas of 678 Sanchoku, I'm not sure how realistic those are. Well, that's one of the ways that you could find your pair. Now, again, the same problem of too many shapes will go 3-pin, 2-pin. 1-4-pin has been cut twice.
I mean, there's two ways to look at that, right? It's been cut twice, so the people don't need it. So it might
Yeah,
be
it's true.
discarded easier.
Although I guess the one person The same person has discarded both of those, so harder to
Yes.
say. But there's
True,
also 3
true.
pin from another player, so 1 pin could be live in that sense. Yeah, I mean, between the two, there's really not too much that differentiates.
All right, now we have the perfect one-away shape for
There's
Ueda.
maybe one more bit of information, and that's the idea that Kura appears to be aiming for pin flush, so she might be holding on to those tiles. In this case, we can actually see that she has 0 of them, but it wouldn't be surprising that she'd be holding on to a number of the 1/4 pins. So I think that also is some logic
Well,
that
and
can be
if
used.
she draws it, yeah, if she draws it, she's gonna keep it as well. It's not, it doesn't,
Right.
it's not only does she have it or not, but does she want it or not?
One step closer. Oh, there's another copy of the 1 pin, so this seems to be correct choice. Or not. Another call for Nakano into Tempai. And she'll get the win. Just 2,000 points. Haku Dora 1.
But she did shut down that great hand that Ueda was just not getting to tempai with, even with all those great shapes.
Notably, Nakano hit Ueda directly, so the issue is the gap is still over 10,000 points by 100, a mere 100, and that means that Magan Sumo not enough without a Riichi stick from another player. Kitagawa, of course, as the dealer, has the best chance now, perhaps, of overtaking. In this, Taipai, 2 dragon pairs, no Dora. Hand now contains 4 pairs. Maybe some thoughts of 789 Sancho for Nakano. Ueda, eyes on her hand as she is the leader currently. And there's a triplet of the red dragons, so San advancing quickly to Ishantam. I always wonder about that.
Count dragons. And 2. You wonder about what?
Oh yeah, the Tumon versus. Oh wait, hang on a second. There's a Haku. We could.
That's what I was counting for. We do have a chance at a small dragon's hand here. Tiny chance at a big dragon's, but probably more likely a small, because we'll see probably a green dragon pwn.
Yeah, I can't imagine you let that go. And the white dragon, I think, is held twice.
There's one out already.
And that dream has died. Could on a spot here where the hand's not going to be worth, you know, Baimon or whatever it's going to take to come back into a position change. So she's just looking for points. Points for herself, points for the team.
There's a green dragon pawn and 2 white dragons out already, so we'll see the third one discarded. No small or big dragon Yaku here today
So far.
so far. This
Assuming,
hand anyway.
yeah, assuming Kitagawa wins this hand. Who knows? Could show up in the next one. I was actually watching somebody play Okay, it was Sama, but they won Daisangan to end the first game in just like the silliest way possible. They started with 3 dragons, somehow ended up with Daisangan, and then
Like one of each.
not even one of each, just a pair and then a single of a third. Oh, that's the wall. Double Yokohai Sumo with the Fu overflow. It's a little extra value for Kitagawa, chasing down Nakano and Ueda. Anyway, they decided to play one more game, and the game also ended with Yakuman. They drew Yasume Suanko. They drew the other side of their shaba, would have been Suanko Daisangen. So it ended up being Suanko Shosangen. And he decided he was going to stop playing for the night.
I love those ridiculous, massive hands in every single round.
It is quite entertaining. This Hypai is a little less entertaining. There's so many tough singletons. It's not terrible. There are multiple blocks, just a lot of kanchan shapes. 1-3 mon, 7-9 pin. June pair. Tuso is the Dora, so we expect to see lower Sotiles being retained, even if they're not super efficient. June pair helps, at least it makes the hand callable. Although, Mochi Mochi with Kura might be aiming for pairs. This Tuso Dora is still missing. We saw this before with a 3-so Dora, absent from the board. Checking conditions with the Honba. Now Nakano has enough with a Mangan Sumo to surpass Ueda. Kitagawa also in roughly the same spot, but of course as dealer, her Mangan's going to be worth a lot more, and we'll have to play another hand after winning. There's an east. Fortunately for Kitagawa, she had just paired that up and gets to pull one Yakuhai. And that was really important because the red dragons were not coming. Nakano has a plan. It involves Riichi Tsumodora and hitting an Uda or hitting Ipatsu with a Mangan. Speaking of Dora, Kitagawa draw and discard. Do so.
Seems a little bit spooked about this south. Maybe keeping it, slimming down to 5 blocks while keeping the south as what will hopefully become a safe tile, and there it is. Now she'll think it's safe.
At this stage, I wonder if she's also just considering it as potential Chitoi tile.
Yeah. That pesky 5-6-7 sequence is there.
It's throwing things off.
I mean, the second that you draw for bamboo, then you're kind of like, maybe it's not a pair's hand.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes the 8-9 so cut clever. Not even the 8-9, sorry, the 8-9. Just starting with the 8-so and holding the 9-so, because you can still play the 9-so as a Chitoi option, but if you do draw the Formon, then you've left yourself a route to playing a standard hand.
Uh-oh.
Maybe a score confirmation here. I did notice the overlay went away for a little bit, so I think something may have also been noticed by the team watching the game.
They do have records of wet hands were won. There are times when they come back from the broadcasting room and instruct the players on how to fix the scores if there's a problem with, I think in my last broadcast game, someone just didn't give change. And I did actually notice, but generally I'm wrong about those things.
Hmm.
And nobody else seemed to know. I think she forgot to give her 3,000 points in change back. I was like, well, she wouldn't forget that much, would she? And also the person who's supposed to receive it would notice.
Right.
So I must be imagining things. And I actually wasn't. They came back from backstage to indicate that those points needed to be returned.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens. A distraction happens at the table, or oh, hang on a second. That is the Tuso that Nakano really, really, really wanted. And now she really has a good chance at that Mangan Sumo to overtake for first. Yeah, sometimes a distraction happens and something gets missed. I'm very happy that it can be so easily fixed. Tempai on the 3-6 pin. It will filter out, and we are not done yet. It is just east only. But that is inching closer and widening a gap over Nakano for second place. It's a little bit more breathing room in case there's that sumo from Kura or Ueda. Kitagawa will retain the dealership here with another repeat. Pretty optimistic about this initial set of tiles. Looks like, is that the Chusodora again? Interesting. This time she's got one. And the shapes are all sort of connected, so you're already making sacrifices one way or another. The 8-9 pin's not too much of a sacrifice.
Looks a lot more like a middle, like a Tanyawa kind of hand. Oh, triple up of the red dragon for Kura. Nakano's conditions haven't changed. She still wants a Mangan Sumo.
Yeah, every homeba the condition gets easier, but at this point it's gonna take a lot of homeba to make it easier than Mangan Sumo. The first one certainly helped.
But it has dropped her down into third place rather than second place. Kitagawa's winning.
But also with a promising start. Ah, there it is, another dragon. Maybe this is the Shosangan that we were looking for. So Hatsu paired up by Ueda. She has all the incentive in the world to call Hatsu. Of course, she'll never see it from Kura.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be a flush and outside hand and.
I mean, when you are sitting low on the scoreboard, you are thinking about all these potential routes. Yeah, 9-mon, just committing for it. There were ways to build value with the 9-mon pair. Something like Onoto Toi Toi, Yakuhai, Shosangan, something like that. Baimon.
Alright, flush, possible outside hand.
Certainly another totally valid way of doing it. Looks like for
But those two 9-mons at first, I wasn't sure which suit it would actually become. It ended up becoming the bamboo flush.
So continues to fill in the shape she's looking for. Still needs to find more. Ueda, Ishantem. Kitagawa, Ishantem. Kura. 6 pin's not going to be good here.
I would say I need Kura to teach a seminar about how to draw the perfect tiles, except for this is kind of the first hand that everything has gone that smoothly for her, and with this reach, maybe not anymore.
Oh, and Ueda Tenpai as well, but the Riichi came out from her direct competition. She can't really deal into this. What is the play? Forso looks bad. Hatsu Shonpai. She has safe tiles, but at the same time, if Nakano tsumos and it's a Mangan, Ueda loses first place anyway. However, if she deals in it's a Mangan, she drops all the way to third. Forso Riichi chase!
Just close your eyes and reach.
She's not going
You have the right tile in your hand.
sit by and watch Nakano play. Takes the challenge directly. I admire this playstyle because I cannot do it myself. It's 3-pin only versus 3-6-mon.
I can do it. It's just that when I do it, deals in. It's not.
Unfortunately, I've had that experience recently. Kitagawa. Also, this is a tough spot. Interestingly, the point gap between Kitagawa and Nakano is exactly 3,000 points. If this goes to a draw, and Nakano and Ueda are the only two players Tenpai, the Riichi stick, the Honba, those don't affect things, so they'll have a tied scoreline.
This is also one away.
Kitagawa might choose to fight, actually. I mean, given the team's position, there is some incentive to do so if she finds the Tenpai. Try the 8-mon instead. There's one of the deal-in tiles. Okay, we'll play somewhere else. 5-mon. Goes through. It's not the bad mon tile. Forso still safe. Looks like an honor. West.
West honor, best honor.
It's interesting because I don't know how many of those are cut. So will come out instead. I think it's actually just missing from the board, but it's not as if Kura is holding them. It's another deal-in tile. These honors are so suspicious. So many tiles have cleared. You start to wonder, is it some type of Shabo, honor Shabo? She'll try the 3-mon, but that will deal into Ueda, who has Riichi only. What about the Ueda? Misses the Ueda. And so that means it's only 1,900 points from Kitagawa. She preserves, just barely preserves, the second place. Ueda, the big winner, though, will collect all the Oka. Kitagawa.
Nakano ends up with a negative, even though she was positive as far as being above 30,000. And Kura just a bit miffed. She did not have terrible hands.
No, not at all. I think, yeah, so much happened in that final hand. Kitagawa ended up playing into the Riichi, but because there was no Ueda, I think with the Ueda and the Honba, that would have been enough to exchange place. 26 plus 600, yeah, 32. And so that barely missed out on dropping to third, so Kitagawa saved. And for Kura, from...
I just put another image in the Discord for you as well.
Oh, thank you. From East 1, she had first Riichi as dealer. And good weight, good value, lost out on Mangan. A couple turns later, she had another excellent Riichi. Lost out again. Got back to her dealership. Another value hand. Someone took a Mangan Summon and it had the Oyakaburi penalty. It just did not pan out this time around.
I mean, it's always timing. It's always timing with that.
Black biscuits, huh?
Yeah. When as long as you have a dealer turn left, you can pretty much deal with anything. You might not end up succeeding dealing with it, but when you have no dealer turns left, everything just becomes so much harder. And this is why I hate being first dealer. Second dealer is better, but it's still ugh. And yeah, Nakano is just. I mean, I said this in the last time she was on the broadcast table. She just had like the worst time ever, and she was playing well, and she was reaching, and she was getting good tempais and high scoring hands, but she could not win anything, and everything ended up dealing in. We didn't see that this time, but it's still a frustrating way to end, I think, a broadcast table.
I do think that, it is a testament to how well the entire table is playing, though. When you are playing well and it's just not good enough, a bit of that comes down to just how the tiles fall. If everyone is playing well, someone's got to win, and it might not be your day, but Nakano gave a really good showing and was in first for a while, got chased down, was second for a while, got chased down again. All that being said, I think she played really well and definitely gave us a good showing.
Yeah, definitely was a good showing. It's not anything that she was doing wrong.
Nope.
It's just the way the tiles fall sometimes. And we have one more game coming up for you, but both of us are going to tag out and welcome a couple of really talented and fun commentators. Going to start with, do you have the image?
I do. I believe that both the commentators are here. Welcome to Corak and Harrison.
Hello, everyone.
Oh!
I think also Dave will be joining partway through, so we could end up with a 3-person stream, or Harrison might have other things to do, and tag out. I leave it up to all of you guys, but definitely some fun voices, all three of them, super fun voices on the stream. So good luck, and follow the Mahjong Jenn channel as well for our new podcast, starting on Wednesday evening for the US and Thursday afternoons for Japan.
Type. Good work, Jenn. Always a treat, even though I was able to catch only a little bit of it. Commentary provided by you and Nate. Let me tell you, Corak, I'm going to be honest, a bit of a last-minute addition to the stream, so I have not looked at what we got in store for us, but it's Sankei Shimbun, so I'm excited. Final game of the day, too.
All right, then. I guess I'll do the introductions. I rarely do, but I have it pulled up anyway. In the East Seat, we have Miho Koike from SPM. In the South Seat, Shiori Machida from JPML. In the West Seat, Aki Nikaido from JPML. And in North Seat, Yoko Watanabe of SPM. So, of course, I think everyone immediately recognizes Aki Nikaido. Has definitely been around a long time at this point. But overall, should be a fairly intense game. You can look at them, then they definitely look serious. You see some of these very casual, those are pretty serious looks at the camera. They're trying to project an image. So let's go ahead and jump in the game then.
Oh, they're trying to produce aura, and they're doing it. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter what their picture looks like, because when they get on the table, there is nothing but fierceness behind people's eyes every time. It is great.
All right. I always feel this is the most awkward time, is right at the very start of just sitting there trying to draw. You're trying to get the vibes of the table, your nerves, you're on the TV table. It's everything's a little awkward until you get the tiles, and then you're in the game and ready to go.
Yeah, the second you see the tiles, you're locking in. You're going, okay, first hand, time to make a statement, time to play my game. How do we begin? And let me tell you, for dealer Koike, it is looking good. This hand is looking like a
Ooh.
solid Pinfu, Tanyao, maybe add a Sanshoku in there, throw
Yeah,
a
5, 6,
Dora, get a
7
little
looking
crazy.
good. Yeah, it's one of
Oof.
those odd hands where the door actually doesn't fit. Everything else there is beautiful. Ooh, nice little Junshan Sanshku type hand here. This is a
Hmm.
pretty nice Pinfu as well. The 8's not a great draw because you have the 4, 6, 6, 8. But hey, it can be, oh, well, okay. You draw 2 mana,
To
you
a
can turn that
manga.
into 2, 2,
Okay.
2, 4 shape and keep the
Yeah, we'll find a
Sanshku
pair.
anyway. The
Ooh,
6
6
condition
up.
tile, it does keep the Itsu, but you don't abandon the Junshan altogether, getting rid of the honor.
For Nikaido, who dropped that 6M turn 1-2, doesn't play the Dora very well, but let me tell you, that Junshan was a hard commit, like you were calling it out, that hand right there. Now also keeping floating 6S for a possible E2 for value as well.
Oh,
Problem.
well, that's a really
Dealers, yeah.
annoying draw because the most efficient cut is obviously the Dora, but it loses so much value. You're just gonna cut the
What?
8.
No,
Because if you
just
get the
drop 7
9, you're just
mon.
sad.
Just drop 7 mon.
And take the 4, 6, and give up the Sanshku. No
No, you
way.
drop 7 mon and then you drop 6 mon for 2224 Tempai.
Oh, well, that's a
Ah.
sign. Just drawing another one.
That's okay. It's just testing your metal. The wall will reward you for choosing the same path for not floundering about.
Now the West isn't going to help here, and we're going to see a 1-1, another tile that's close to the blocks but doesn't help at all. 3 here gives a possible 1 through the Sanshku shift potential.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, didn't want to keep the 1-so. Could have worked down, maybe drop 3-pin, maybe the 1-2
The 1
Penchon
so is pretty
cut.
useless here. It's really only for the Taeko upgrade, and you already see a 2-so out in one of your hands. It's really
Well, I
hard to
was
use.
thinking you kind of dream a bit more towards like Jinitsu. Sure, you're far off of it, but it's worth the value. Your hand's not great or not necessarily fast, so you might as
Speaking of
well
dreaming, we're going to see
build it
some
up.
choices. Giving up on the Sanshku, maybe leaving options for a 3-4-5 later, but just going to play raw
Mm-hmm.
efficiency.
Yeah, it has the tune, the
Oh,
snap
Adora
call, can play
pair up. That's
Adora.
always nice.
Ooh!
This is Kutsuki. It's actually triple floater in this hand. I think
I
the
almost kind of
6
want to cut
month's the most
6M.
efficient cut because you have the 4s, but it's also the value loss because of the possible Taeko. So ends up
Mm.
keeping it and cutting from the Shozu.
Yeah, but you would need
4.
double 5 mon for that. That makes it a little hard.
Well, there's the first one.
Okay, well. Joke's on me,
And
I
you did
guess.
ask for it. 4-7. Uh-oh. You see some obvious problems that may happen.
Mm-hmm. 5 mon comes out. We're waiting on 4-so. 5-so there. May end up still going for this Itsu. That 7-9 pin, though, going to be tricky to solve.
3-so. The hand was
3-so.
definitely suggesting it wanted Sozu. 4 moves the hand forward. Now Ishan 10. 8, that's
Nope.
Tempai. Throw the 5. We'll go ahead and Riichi Pinfu, 2-5 pin.
Yep, not the most value, but
Oh,
it'll
there's the
shut down
5.
dealer. And
Knows it's
ooh,
bad. Deals in. Riichi Pinfu.
missed the though, so only 39. Could have been a lot worse. Probably sadder just to lose the Dora in your own Tanyao hand.
Yeah, it's always frustrating to reach you that you look at the tile you drew on the turn afterwards, and uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm always of the opinion where I draw a tile on epods and it looks like the worst tile to play possible, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's the deal in tile. So, A, at least I know. B, it fits nowhere in my hands, and I got to figure out how to play it or just deal in and eat the value.
Yeah, always much harder when you're already at reach yourself, though. It's just like, yeah, that's the game, all right. 6-month
Yeah.
fits in nicely here. Possible Honitsu. Bunch of pairs in this hand. Might go Chitoitsu. Kind of hedge everything there. With that 9, of
Mm-hmm.
course, already has a 6, so it's not that useful. The 2-so, there are a lot of routes you can move with this hand.
Maybe an
I kind of don't like
E2.
any of them, so you just play efficiently, cut your honors, and figure it out later.
Yeah.
Dora drawn there. West, we're going to see how much of a commit. Not yet fully committing to the Honitsu.
Well, the green's 2 out, so even in a Honitsu, not really going to use that. Kind of just a dead tile. Speaking of Honitsu, though, nope, we're going to still be cutting
No,
honors.
that's just
5-so coming
Itsu. You have
out.
what, a 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9? So Itsu looks possible there.
Yeah, but I mean, you could also, again, try and like be a little aggressive. I think there was a floating lower Pinzu. Yeah, the floating 2-pin. You could
Oh,
cut the
well, now I think you
9-pin.
should always go Itsu. Interesting, just cut the 3. I think I'd have gone with a 9-pin, but that's fine.
I mean, surely for Sakigiri purposes, the 2-pin should be safer to push later.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I'm
figure they'll play
always.
either.
That's actually something I've argued a lot of Pila. How often do you need a Sakigiri on turn 3? Now, pros do it a lot.
That's
And
true, but I
amateurs
also.
tend not to, and it comes back to bite them sometimes in matches with pros.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a different game when everybody's playing efficiency. Speaking of Honitsu there, too, Nikaido going all in wants to increase the hand value as we get
Ishanten,
Chitoi, Ishanten,
Kura,
Watanabe trying
probably
to shut it down.
Tanyao as well, with that 7, 8, 9, actually Chitoi floaters.
Could
Oh,
see a
that's a
shift
really
here.
annoying draw. You could go 4-pin, kind of hedge everything, keep 6 block, and that's going to be the play. 9 so is pretty useless, especially I'm already cut the 7. Wants to go for the Honitsu.
Hmm. Could end up being problematic with Watanabe playing this Chitoi. Is going to want to keep those honors, pair and fish them up, or have a good Tempai wit.
4 pairs up is not
At
called.
6, so
Yeah,
Haku
that is
coming
that is
out.
one of those ties you say that aside.
Yeah, I kind of got to keep that one. I'm losing a lot by ditching that one. 5 so coming out. Still got that floating Dora. Going to be
9
hard to
pair up,
play.
not a good tile because you don't want to just throw Dora here.
Throw the East once out.
Oh, there's your Chitoitsu waiting on Pei Tonki, Riichi Chitoitsu.
We'll have to see if it gets thrown. See if Hatsu gets thrown from Koike. Machida draws the Haku. That'll do it. The question is, what's played now? We get safe 9 Mon. Going back a little bit in the hand, but recognizes some danger in that Shompai North.
This is the West player, so it's not the Yakuhai. Actually, should feel reasonably safe.
Mhm.
But just
Ooh, 3
discipline
Mon
folding.
though. Good discipline. Good discipline. Still in a bit of a Mawashi state too. Koike, I believe, or not Koike.
Oh,
Who's
there's
that? Mika.
Tenpai, Riichi, Pinfu, Dora 1, 3 Mon, 6 Mon.
6 Mon pretty held. This might actually end up saving Nikaido. Pushed back with 2 Riichis. North is going to be harder to throw.
Eitso fits in
8 comes
nicely. This is
out.
now Ishunten. Possible Sanshuku here.
You could throw 7-pin. You have to push 6-pin afterwards, but 7-pin's guaranteed safe, and that is going to be the play on Tenpai. Going to try it.
Abandons the Sanshuku route, takes the Itsu route. Hey, Sumo, reach Sumo,
Oh!
Chitoitsu. Ura
Watanabe
2.
hits with the Ura 2.
That's a
Oof!
Hanemon. Watanabe going to jump into first off of that. That's always the dream. The Chitoitsu shortcut to Hanemon, but it does usually require Sumo and hitting that Ura. But that is when it hits, it feels really good. And out in front now, and Machida's in a bit of trouble. Nikaido will be dealer here in East 3.
Yeah, Machida, I mean, still is a dealership. It'll be on South 2 as well. So we'll still have at least 2 hands, most likely, after the next dealership ends. But now that we're at this 6K gap range, we definitely want to play a little bit of
Oh,
value.
well,
And it
just
looks like
wake
might
up
be
with
more
Ishunten.
Nikaido. Whew! Killer dealer hands. Not even that bad of a shape for Watanabe. Koike
It
looking a
looks
little
like
slower, but
Honitsu,
Haku
amazing
Anko.
hand here.
Yeah,
Haku
throwing the Wimpy.
Anko, Honitsu, Dora, great shapes. It's the ideal situation. You do need the 7-Mon Dora call, though. Dora indicator call, though. That's the
Mhm.
one tile that could be the choke point.
Ooh, Watanabe, it's an improvement. I see
Chuso is
Koike not go
not
full in the
it.
Honitsu.
Hatsu pair up. This is just Honitsu just throws the 9. You imagine the Dora's coming up pretty soon.
Mhm. Still Ishanten, the 8-pin weight's a little ugly. We'll have to see if it gets kept. Not quite sure. 6-7, that
6
might
with
push
the
off
7. May just be
Honitsu.
going for Riichi, Haku, Dora 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a terrible hand at all.
Well,
Speaking of the
with
Haku, we'll see
Haku
one
not
out.
taken. Of course, I haven't seen.
Nikaido wants
Yeah.
to
Oh,
throw it.
that is Tempai, but it is a hideous one. It is Riichi +1.
Uh,
There are so many upgrades, though. I kind of like 3-pin. Oh, and she does.
Wow, really? Taking the 3-pin even with Furry 10 3-mon draw?
Oh, there's Tempai. This is the perfect draw. And now we're going to see a Chi here to break the Apatsu, but that's Riichi Hakudor 1.
Oh, speaking of, we're gonna throw 9-pin. Not brave enough for the 7. Good read. Would have dealt in. Defended for now, and now rocking a hard place. What is Watanabe gonna do? None of these tiles look great. Such an early Riichi. What's the try?
Feel 7 so is the one you just have to push. You lose the Peiko, but at least it's not double Masuji.
Mm-hmm.
Goes with the 5. Deals in with the 5.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was 5-8 pin. No
Yeah,
Uridora, but Riichi
Hakudor
Hakudora.
1.
52 to the dome. Koike collects, able to make up more of that gap.
Of course, the
Watanabe
Chi
falls
did break
down.
the Apatsu, or that could have been way worse.
That's true. It could have been worse, but 5,200 definitely not feeling the best about it.
Now, Watanabe's still in first, and we're in East 4, and we'll be dealer here. So this is a chance to get it back, take control of the game. Ideally, get another Monzu door. I think every hand has had one. And you look
Yeah,
at the hand, and there are a couple pairs and a whole bunch of disconnected mess. This, on the other hand, is a much better hand. It just doesn't have a ton of value. This is a middling hand. A nice little Sozu shape. but
Oh,
kinda
I think that
nothing
shape's
else.
good. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how it looked like from the wall. I was wondering if they had to call a judge over to like review the footage. That
They
might be what's going
probably
on
are,
now.
and that's the pause. Yeah. That's one where the judge has to intervene and says, yes, things are fine, and then they say,
Yeah.
okay.
Definitely one of the whenever you're unsure of what one goes back in the wall, that's like, okay, you kind of got to check from it, even if it's pretty reasonable to see that
Well,
was
of
how
course,
it
you
went
also have to
along.
remember, they are on TV. In the worst case
That's it.
scenario,
Yeah.
they can find out what happened.
One of the benefits, yeah, on the not stream table, probably not even that much difficulty in the situation.
No. All right, the 9 so doesn't do anything. Gonna hold the honors for now. Kind of try and figure out what's gonna happen later. The 2 connects to the Dora potential. So gonna throw the 9 here. Hold the south for now. 6 is a nice upgrade in that Sozu shape. Gets rid of the 1. Now you Shunten.
4-5, that'll
Nice with
help
the 5
out.
here, but the rest of the tiles just aren't ideal.
They are just no good.
7 at least connects this to the 2. This is going to be a Kanchan with the Dora potential. 5, nice
5-10,
little
good
fill
fill.
there. The hand's advancing. All these hands are kind of middling. None of them are great. They all are like 1 or 2 draws away from being really good, but as you're getting towards the end of the first row, that's usually not where you want your hand to be. You just want your hand to be like, yeah, it's good. I'm Rianri Rodman, but
Mm-hmm. Comes on. I'm not gonna
Hagu
do it.
pair up. Could move towards
Ooh.
Shichoitsu. The problem is the 3-mon would be the normal cut, and it does. Okay, just gonna throw the most efficient tile, getting rid of the Dora now. Not gonna mess around with it. Not gonna sit there looking for a Chitoitsu or anything fancy. Just wants to play
I mean,
efficiency. 2-pin will be
Anko
held. The
North in the
Soju shape is you
green.
have the 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, which can use the 2 as a pair or just potentially as 2 runs.
Yeah, double Yaku high on Arichi too is good value. You could easily get there. You had any pots, a sumo. Even if you get a closed con of one, then that would do it.
6-0 pair up. That is not a fun tile. I kind of want to just
I
cut the
think if it's a
7-mon.
2-pin. I think 2-pin's pretty standard there. That way you can cut 5. I think it's the most efficient. 7's so found there. That's a weird one. Have
Yeah,
some
it's a
odd
complex shape,
pair
but again, there's just
waves.
no value.
Yeah. I mean, a win to
2
win,
still
though.
thrown
Shutdown
back.
dealer. Everyone's still pretty close at the moment.
9 so.
Oh, Tempai.
Yeah, it's an awkward shape, but it's actually a loose 6, 7, 7.
Tank here. Watanabe trying to figure out what to do. Decides
Yeah,
5
that's a
mon's the way to
Windoisaki
go.
gear. He's just been holding on to those honors the entire hand. Really doesn't
Mm-hmm.
want to have to fight this directly.
Suman not gonna do it. Still no green dragon
6
out.
spins an upgrade, but the hand's still a bit of a mess.
Yeah, one step closer, one shape at a time, right?
Naimon would allow you to accept the 8, but the question is how much you trust the Toll, and I'm gonna kind of hold everything for now.
This has to be
Ew.
Tempai, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's
It
not
totally wasn't. I
Tempai.
forgot about the hanging one. But no, not double E pick a shift. I don't know what the
Yeah,
shift is
it's
there.
just a
That's such a
mess.
weird shape.
It's a cheap, annoying, frustrating hand.
Ooh, 3-4-5 Sanchoku chance for Watanabe. This might actually turn out to be a pretty good hand.
We're gonna see the 2 cut now. Cannot use the Dora. Probably thinking they're pretty dead.
Mm-hmm.
Formon isn't it. Perfect Ishunten, but that's not the tile. Will be called though. Just wants the Tanyao here. At least this
Well, Tanyao
Tanyao Dora
Sanchoku
possible
chance.
Sanshoku.
Yeah, that's 39. That's pretty good.
I
Or
still
no,
don't
that's
think that's
dealer,
Tempai.
so 58. Not quite.
Yeah, it's not.
Those are the ones. 9M won't do it. 9P, don't need that. West,
Yes,
nothing burger.
nothing. Well, that's Dora. Just gonna cut the 9 now.
Yeah, Machida's playing back.
This
Playing
is in.
safe.
Okay, well, we need Tempai at least.
Yeah, K10.
Nikaido is North Seat, so there is a Yaku there.
I mean, yeah, points are points.
I mean, it's just been such a wide Ishunten from Machida and has just not gotten there.
Could switch to green, but I'd imagine no. With pros, if the green's not shown itself by now, it's not coming out. Even if someone draws it later on.
Well, that's a pretty wide Ishunten, but no, we'll just shift it back.
Yeah, scared by the tone. Can't blame him. Even
Doesn't
right
like this
now, 3
3
so
so
looking a
lower
little
Sozu look
scary.
pretty bad right now, but at the same time, what else are you
There's
gonna
a lot
do?
of Dora out though, right? Isn't there 2 on the board? There's at
I
least
think there
1.
are, but it's
Lower Manzu is pretty
I'd shove
cheap.
it, but I don't generally care if I deal into 1 or 2 Han. It's when you deal into that 3
Exactly.
it feels bad.
Yeah.
Five, well, you know the one's clear, can just try and shift this up.
Mm-hmm.
7 pin will shift this up again, cutting the 4.
Yeah, 4 completely safe. 3 set checked. Watanabe going, thank
Form on
you.
Anko, now Ishunten.
Could be able to be Tonki on that
That
east.
is still not Tempai.
Nope, not quite. 7
Keeps
Soch
looking
or 7 pin
deceptively
check.
close, but it's just not getting there. And we're out of the wall. What, 2 more draws now? Yeah.
Yeah, now
3
2 more.
more. 2 after this, anyway. And this is a how much you trust that east. You will have the Haite draw.
Yeah, it's another tempting offer. Could even reach on it, try and fish it
I kind of
out.
like the 6 so cut here because the
Yeah.
3s just came out. Nope, gonna shove the east.
Passes. Wait, does nobody have east? Or are they all on the wall? Oh, now the
Well,
green.
we found the Hatsu.
Swap that 1 for 1.
And that's the problem. They have that hand, but if you don't get there, end up paying out 3,000. That's
Yeah.
it all. That's always there feels bad because you're there. You know, you just need 1 tile, and you're afraid to push it, and then it bits you, and you're out 3,000, which is probably worse than if you dealt in.
And speaking of there, looks like we have another commentator entering the booth. Is that the one, the only Dave Mahjong?
I haven't had my last name legally changed yet. It's still in process.
Yet,
Okay.
soon.
Yet.
You love burning money. It's a matter of time.
It's one thing to spend on. It's that. But all right, let's see what we got here. Looks like we got a pretty close game, except for Machida is a bit behind.
Machida has just kind of lost a few points here. Had a pretty bad sumo. Oyakabri lost 6,000 points on a Chitoitsu,
Oof.
and just paid out 3,000 in Tenpai payments in the last hand. So that'll add up pretty quickly. But as we look at these hands, 5-so, now with an Anko, actually 1-3-5-5-5-6 shape. So a lot of route to play that. The 4-mon pairs up here, a whole bunch of Monzu, but probably not enough for a whole Nitsu hand. This hand is just bad shapes everywhere. Penchon, and just a couple pairs. This is similarly a very slow Pinfu hand. 7-1 would really help the hand, but until it gets there, it's not going to do it. So this 4-so is a huge draw. Huge upgrade.
Starts to get some good shapes in there. 7-mon's also great pick.
Yeah, 7-1 fills that Penchon in Monzu, gives also possibly Peiko routes. A Haku pair up can now call and try and brute force this hand if necessary.
Best thing about drawing bad tiles is so many other tiles will help you.
Well, the problem is, especially these honors, when you get to the honors, like, well, it's useless to draw another one. I'm usually just throwing it right back.
Yeah.
4-mon's a nice little
Okay.
Peiko shift. I imagine the 6-so. Yeah, there it goes. Because the idea is the Peiko. Probably don't get there. You want to keep as an option. This, I believe, is Shunten. 6-mon pair up. You don't use that as the pair. There's the Chitoitsu. There's an Peiko. There's even a Chinitsu route if you want to get really greedy. Dora draw. That is not what you want with this hand. So just could have got the
No.
1-3. Speaking of threes.
Heading towards Tanyo there.
Pei is pretty useless. Gonna get tossed back. 3-so doesn't really do much. Going to be held as a floater for now. Well, just draw another Haku. That fixes that problem.
Oh yeah. Now you have a great position.
Yeah, I like the 3 here. I feel the 8-so was kind of a weak cut the previous turn because the shape ended up potentially 3-so, 5-so Shampon. But now you have a choice here. Is this going to be Chinitsu or not? I think the shapes are so bad I don't really want to.
Throwing the 9 is a good way to hedge your bets on it, though, I think.
Nine pin. Well, okay, that fixes your furry 10 issue. Just be the
Really?
9-8, and yeah, there it goes.
Gives you
Tune
something
is
near
not
the
going to
door.
be it.
Oh no!
Well, now you regret everything. It was Shidetsu.
Oh no! If
About
only
the
you could have
only draw
known.
read is genuinely sad. We're going to
Yeah.
see the Chi because this does have a Dora and a Yaku already. Take the fairly wide headless Ishunten. Oh, that is Tempai. If you got the 6. Will Dama here waiting on 4-mon.
There's 2, 3, 4. We'd have to get rid of it. Okay, we'll get rid of a 1. Head towards Tanyo Ipeko Dora.
Well, that 5 definitely moves this a bit more towards Chitoitsu, because a regular hand just not happening. The question is you're willing to push 5-mon, 6-mon, 6-pin into these pawns.
I would be willing to throw 8, 9 mon. Yeah, like cut that shape. Again, kind of hedge your bets.
Well, there's a 3
3
going to shift up, throws the 6 out there. That's Sanshogu
3, 4,
now.
5
Riichi,
Sanshoku.
Tanyo, Sanshogu.
1, 2,
This is
3, 4.
Tempai
At
as
least mon.
well. That's waiting on the 6-pin for Tanyo, Ipeko, Dora 1, Dama.
Yeah, got some sneaky hands hanging out here. Let's see what comes up.
Well, West isn't it. East isn't it.
That's 2.
That's
There's 2
Ishunten.
4
No,
mons.
it's 2 Shunten.
All 4 of the 4 mons are in people's hands. That's no good.
2-so. Doesn't feel great, but a 3-so, 6-so cut. I'm willing to push the 2 for sure, especially Tempai with value. One so's not it. 6-so gets shoved. That's Kinbitsu, so doesn't look like a hard push yet. This is one of those situations where you have a Dama hand like that. Every single turn, like, well, what's the tile
Ooh.
that tells everyone I'm just Tempai? There
And
goes the 6.
6-pin
Gonna
comes
deal in.
out.
Tanya, Ipeko, Dora
Dora.
1 throws the
Hit
Dora
butt.
indicator, deals in.
3 and
Also
40,
gets Riichi stick,
5,200.
though. And
one
Nikaido
homebot is
jumps into
55.
first place off of that. Koike falls down into third place here.
Another unfortunate time for Machida. A worthy attack that did not land.
Oh, that's nice little Pinfu hand here. Not
6,
too much
7, 8.
value, but it looks really fast.
Yeah, just a few good draws, and this is good to go.
7 so is basically the choke point tile in that hand. Oh, well, I like this hand even better because this is callable. It has a Yaku, it has Horitsu.
Super fast.
Speaking of hands
Pair of
with
those
a
threes.
honor pair, but that's not the seat win. That was the North player. The 2-pin doesn't really do anything here. 3 shows a floater is going to be that good, especially having already cut the 1. Hatsu pair
Pair of
up and
Hatsu.
call and go potentially. Speaking of
be a
Hatsu,
fast
out it
hand.
goes. It's
But we don't call.
passed.
We hang out.
1 so not going to do it. Just keeps drawing those lower Sozu.
3, 4,
3
5
pin
finishes
is
up.
an upgrade. Complete the shape there. I believe that's Ishunten. 8 pin, a great draw. Fills the Ryankan.
Oof. There's that Dora. We got a 2 so we can throw out, but now we're going to have to deal with it at some point.
5 connects to the 6. May end up just going regular.
7, 8, 9 fill. This is Tenpai. But we don't
Throws
like the shape.
3 wants the shape in Sozu to upgrade.
Okay.
Dora Penchon here, so we'll go ahead and cut the 2 so. Plan to use the West as the pair. 6 is the
Oh,
perfect draw here.
beautiful
Kuchiki
fill
and
in.
double floater, including an Arianman, so basically any upper Monzu draw is good. Even the 9. Nine so isn't going to
Nine
be
so.
it. 2 so that is Tenpai as well. Gonna take the 3 so Riichi. We
And
have
we'll
a
just
believer
take it.
here. Riichi Dora 1.
All right.
Chunjon, not gonna use. Oh well, that's
Oh,
2 Dora.
wow.
This is Senpai. Just go ahead and
And
throw
we
the
just
stick
slam
in.
it, yeah.
Riichi Dora 2, waiting on 7 so.
It's
I
like
don't
it
think
could
his
probably
hand's good
just
enough to
go.
continue immediately. But you have the chance to get to that 4-5-6 Sanshoku.
Yeah.
Ace of course does nothing, and we see the 5 so. Because what are the tempi? 3 so and 7 so, I believe.
Yeah. Believe so. Five.
Speaking of 7s, there it is.
Bam.
Riichi Dora 2. And that looks like an order to me.
3.
So that is Mongon.
Dealer Mongon.
Big win picked up there.
That's a shame. All of
Basically
Aki's
switched
points.
places as a result of it. Koike now into first place. Nikaido dropped into third. And we see a bit of gap between every one of the players here. 6,000, 9,500, and 5,800. So long way to go still. We are only in South 1. East pair here for dealer. Can potentially call this down. Possible Toto upgrades later. This looks like a Pinfu hand. Probably so, but has 2 Dora. 2 doesn't do that much. This is a Pinfu hand. Nothing fancy. It's a Haku pair.
Haku pair, 7, 8,
And
9
decent
fill.
shapes. 5
Tripling up those
Onko.
5s. Interesting.
I mean, it can always be Suonko if you get there. 7 pin, not a great tile, but we'll go ahead and hold it with the 5, 7, 7, 8 now. Speaking of loose 5s that don't really fit in the hand, gonna hold it as a floater. 1 pin pair up. Well, I think you just have to. Ooh, actually, a lot of
A lot of
choices.
pairs here.
I want to go 5-so here.
Get out of the center.
Okay, it goes with a 3-so, so we're on the same thought line.
Haku not getting grabbed. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Okay.
Yeah, that's a huge upgrade to that shave. That's always what you want with those. A 3, I feel this has to be either the pay or the 7-mon. I just got the pay. I think your Haku or your safe tile, so you don't really need to worry about defense that much. And
Yeah.
yeah, thinks
the
about
pair
it
of
for a bit
Hakus
and
is
says,
pretty
wait, that
safe.
makes a lot of sense.
Out
And
goes
yeah,
that
okay, so
5.
did I'm cutting the whole 3-5 block. 9 goes out. 4. Ew. Ew.
We did not need more pairs.
Yeah, 2-mon's the only cut that makes sense there, because you can potentially cut the 1-1 later, but at the same time you're hedging Sanshoku and just a regular Pinfu Ipeiko hand, maybe even.
South now
Non-pair
pairs
up.
up. Interesting.
Yeah, so that's a nice little pickup. That is the double south from Machida.
Probably worth calling then.
Another 1-so. Classic draw a tile and then draw 2 more of them a couple turns later. 5. Ooh, interesting. This is actually Chitoitsu Ishanten. But you also have a bunch of nice little Ipeikos. I feel Chitoitsu is your only value in this hand. So yeah, I kind of like just locking it in, but still keeping your Pinzu shape flexible enough to go for Ipeiko if it ends that route. 2 here, really holding on to that Dora.
2, 3 completes.
Chun, well, it's already 4-10, so you can't really plan for that. 8 connects with the
8
9.
connects to
That
the
is the door
Dora, yeah.
indicator. It should probably be the 5-so. Might go 7-mon. Seven pin, kind of a sucky Geary. I don't think I like that because I feel the plan would be to call the Hakus if there's a problem. All the Haku are dead.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
4-so isn't it. Doesn't help at all. Just gonna cut the 6 here.
7, 8,
7.
9.
That is Ishanten now. 4, and there goes the Dora. This is when we're like, we need to get rid of. Oh, and you see it called as Zapone. Plan here is to get that double South Dora 3 now. And everyone sees the Dora opponent has to be a little more careful.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to walk into that. Now, what do we have too many shapes. We got to get rid of one. We're going to get rid of that 4, 5.
Classic Ryaman draw. So, oh, well, that's the tile you're very scared of.
Yeah. And we go around it.
Yeah,
We don't want to worry about that.
doesn't throw it yet. Might throw it at Tempai, though.
It's possible. 7, 8, 9.
There's another Dora indicator. Not exactly the tile you want, but with the Dora pole, the 8's very safe. Might even hold us as a safe tile. Just kind of sucky Gary's the 5 down.
Hey, we just don't like it. We're just cutting down now. We're sad.
Speaking of sad, the Dora pawn is very sad. The rest of those shapes are not good. 6. Well, you can shift this down and try and make it to a 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku. We'll also have to draw the 6-0 for it. We'll lose the Dora doing it, but hey, if you can guarantee Sanshoku, it's worth it. 4 pair up. Actually can move this towards more callable shape. The problem is the 1-mon 4-man are super locked up, but you can't know that. 9 does nothing. 8 pin does nothing. We're going to hold it over the 6. Speaking of 6s, Hatsu, isn't it? Still Ishanten. And that's a fold. That's okay. We're not doing this. We haven't seen the South. Something funny's going on.
That's fair.
And just the hands are not getting there. Anko of the
Go of
Tolm
east, but we're
just goes
just gonna
throw it
get
back
out of
there.
here.
It has that south just says no.
Ugh.
Five, so just gonna throw it back. Keep the Shunten. Pay pair up, but at this point you're just already folding. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. If you're gonna get out of there, you gotta just get out of there. Second guessing yourself is trouble.
One pin still Ryanman, Shunten. It cannot get there. Of course, the hand with the Dora pair is one everyone's paying attention to, but it's terrible. Draws the last south, though. Now
Oh wow.
Ishunten needs
Tenpai,
a
is that
bunch of
Tenpai on 8-pin
Manzu.
only for Chitoi?
See, I don't think so. I'd have to take a look at it again.
Yeah, let's wait till we get back around.
It is. Yeah,
Yes.
it did get there.
Oof.
And then turns out we'll be the only player Tenpai.
Just squeaks in for those Tenpai points, which is a good pickup after that 12,000 point loss last hand. The game will move forward around, but Aki is now within decent striking distance of second place.
Yeah, I mean, you get a hand that just doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then surprised that Jichoitsu gets there. And you get
Yeah.
3,000 off it. That's worth more than the Jichoitsu.
Crafty.
All right. Well, Machida is going to be dealer here. Definitely needs to go on a run. And this is a mediocre hand. 6, 7, 8 Sanchigo looking like the potential here. Use the West
like-
as the pair. Has a couple floaters as well. Looks like a
Yeah.
Pinfu hand. Not anything particularly fancy in there. Reach Pinfu. The 9-1 gets thrown back. Looks like Pinfu hand. Regular. Whole bunch of just regular mediocre hands.
Oh,
Not
normal
really
tiles for once.
fast, not really slow, no real value. Just a bunch of pretty standard, boring Riichi Mahjong. They just need a little bit of time. So I feel in this situation, it's who can pick something up along the way.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Dreamon will be a floater, but not a complete floater, as it loosely connects to the 5, 6, 7. Basically, any Monzu other than a 9 upgrades the hand. 3, well, there's a route for a 3, 4, 5 Sanjigu in here, but it's going to have to shift down in the Sozu. 3 pair up, could it potentially end up 3-mon Shaw Shampon? 5 so loosely connects with the 3, but the hand just aren't get. Oh, well, I was going to say the hands aren't getting there, but the hand just got there.
There we
This
go,
is
yeah.
now Ishunten. Which one is going to be taken, though? Goes
Really?
and cuts the 5, says, I don't want to be waiting on the Dora.
I guess that's true. Even though it would be nice to draw it, it's a tough wait.
8-pin Onko now. So then you just use the 7 as your pair. I imagine you cut the honors. Yeah, there goes the south. 9 pins, not useful. Gets thrown back. The pay is not useful. It gets thrown back. But it can be taken by Koike, who just wants the quick Tenpai here to get us to South 3, if it can come out on the 2-5, I believe.
Here's
1
Anko
pin
of 1 pin.
Onko.
Getting a lot of Ankos here, getting a little nervous.
Yes, on the 2-5 mon. The West feels like, okay, I'm out. This hand just didn't get there. Oh, Dora pair up. Now
Dora pair up,
Ishunten for
and
possible
Ishunten.
Riichi, Sananko Dora,
Possible
2.
Sanako, yeah. This is it's getting big.
But it doesn't matter.
Oh
5 mon will
no.
just shut this down. Koike says, I don't want to deal with this. Let's move to South 3. Give me some points and let's go.
Yeah. Oh, it's always sad to see the big hands get shut down, but smart play by Koike. That's exactly what you want to do. Just move the game on. No worries.
I feel that something the more I talk to people, the less they seem to comprehend that oftentimes the aggressive calling is not an offensive play. It's a defensive play. That you just need to shut it down. You need to make sure no one hits those big sumos and move the game around.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. The fact that like offense and defense are very intertwined, obviously, because by winning you also shut everyone down.
Yeah, it's one of the big differences, of course. The game's always compared to poker. You can't just muck a hand. It makes it a very different dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we have an
Okay.
East pair
East
here.
pair up.
So that is the Yaku high for the dealer, of course. Look at a Pinfu hand, Bimini Peiko. This is a Pinfu hand, Bimini Peiko, but gonna be hard to fill it in. Two pin doesn't really do much. Feels very slow. Eight. So those a very
Eight's a
nice
good fill.
draw here. Completes the Kanchan 7-9. The 5 Mon will allow some maneuverability and Dora acceptance in the Bonzu. Speaking of Dora, so I think you just have to hold that with the 5, 6, 7, 7, 9.
Oh, yeah, everyone's getting
Speaking
Dora.
of Dora that don't really fit in the hand.
Oh,
Just
boy, everyone's
everyone
getting
draws
Dora.
Dora. Okay, we found out where they were in the wall.
Wow. All right, around the table we go. Everyone gets a Dora.
Except for Watanabe.
Oh no, poor Watanabe. Uh, 2 doesn't really help.
8, no, still in that perfect Ishunten shape. 6 pin will. Now you have
5, 6.
a 5, 6, 7 Sanshuku route. 5 pin pair up. Ooh, interesting. I kind of want to go 9, 9. We'll go and cut the 3 so here. Force is a
3, 4,
great
5.
fill
Nice,
with that
nice.
3, 4, 5.
Move towards Tanyo there. North is out.
Hey, isn't it? The question is, you want to sucky Gary anything? I don't think so, because I think your value is the 4, 5, 6, but does got the 4. 9, I have Ryoncon to use with the Dora. And there goes one of those 8s you really want, though. Hatsu isn't going to help. 3 pin. Ugh. And eventually it does go with the 9, so.
Hatsu pair up.
Oh,
Abandoned.
there's your
Oh,
Tempai, and that is the big one. This is Riichi Tone Dora 1, 4, 7 pin.
2, 3.
This
We'll
is
just
what
throw that
Nikaido
in.
needed. Bit of lag on the
Alright,
screen there, but there
Hatsu
we go.
safe.
Hatsu has net. Oh, close, but that's not it.
Yeah.
So
Got
that's
Haku
always a
pair
question I have. How big do your eyes get when you draw something
up.
that's just really close and then you realize it's not it?
7. So
That
but
is, though,
Sumo.
Reach, Sumo, Tone, Dora 1. That is Mangan.
1, 2, 3, 4. Dealer Mangan and Nikaido
Will be in
gets her
first
points
place. Of
back.
course, Koike loses 4,000 from that Sumo payment. Nikaido in first now.
Poor Machida is just getting tossed around by the weather at this table.
Well, it can happen, but her team has the points to spare. Of course, it is one game, and you like to put in the result, but it's a long season.
True, true. Plenty of
It's like a
time.
nice little Pinfu hand here. Not too much value, but the shapes are pretty good. This end is very nice. 4 pin would be an amazing draw. It would actually be Tempai. It's Ishunten. This is a very slow Pinfu hand. This is that's also Ishunten, I believe. Whoa, it has some monster on the speed, but not too much value here.
North, not needed. Not needed.
7 doesn't do much. Gonna throw it back.
6, 8.
And 7 is not the upgrade. This is a, do I want to hedge it as a good floater? And no, just going to hold on to that. Waiting with that 5 mon to connect to that. 3 so makes it a 3, 3, 4 shape. 8 so, well, should have kept the 7, looks like. Isn't it
Alas.
convenient how hindsight tells us
Yeah.
exactly we did it wrong? Oh, wow, that
Oh,
just temp by 3
and that's
Sun. It
Tenpai.
should be a 2-mon Riichi here. The
But
question is, how
is
greedy do
it?
you want to be for Sonanko? I think that's the thought here. Gonna go ahead and cut the 4 here.
Looks
There are
like
also Peiko routes. This is Dama waiting 2-5, but I feel, especially if the 2's drawn, this will be a 3-10 play.
possibly, yeah. I feel like there's gotta be, yeah, there's gotta be just a cry for value here. Machi doesn't have any points. Rushing a reach that's not worth anything is not gonna help.
The 8 doesn't do much immediately, but it feels like a hand's mostly folding. Haku isn't an upgrade. 7, so the
Ooh.
perfect fill. That is actually Tempai. Riichi Dora 1 waiting on the 7-pin Dora indicator.
And we just reach.
Not just
Pair up.
Riichi, but Dealer Riichi. Throws the Shaw, stays Dama here. Get the 7, but it's the wrong suit.
7. North is pretty alright.
5, so, the hand's just not going anywhere. You're just folding out at this point. 7-pin. I mean, it's a good weight. I feel your only choices are Riichi, one of these, or cut 3-4-mon.
Both of which are a little dangerous looking. But it's cut
Those are
3-4
the
amount of
3
this.
mon. So Machida trying to fight here. That is Tempai as well. I have to push the
Ugh.
5 mon here and win on a terrible Riichi Dora 1 weight with 4-pin. Thinking about it for a while here. Of course, the 1-pin did just come out. You can just fold out with 1-1-1. I feel if the 1 hadn't come out, I'd just slam this without thinking. Now, yeah, throws the 3. So not completely giving up on the hand, but feels like a likely giving up on it.
Yeah. 4-5-6 fill, not bad.
2-pin isn't
Two
it, and it's
pin.
right by the Riichi tile, but
So
throws
we're
the
just
4
gonna
for now.
keep going on our quest for Sananko.
Or even Peiko or just Dora acceptance at this point.
It's
Oh,
also
well,
Tenpai.
that
It's
is
a weird
Sonanko.
Tenpai.
This is actually Sonanko. Dama on the 5-mon. Sonanko Dora 1. Yeah, that classic, you have the completed run in the hand and it's still Sonanko
Crazy.
when you're waiting for the Tonki.
2-3. We're gonna get rid of the 2-3. We're just not doing it. 5, so nope. Well, 3's hard safe, so we get rid of that.
2-pin.
Now another 2, but we go for it and
Well,
get
it'd be
away with it.
3-10. You can't hold on to that.
Well, this frees up Koike to also get rid of that 2.
He's trying to draw us
Oh!
anything in upper Pinzu, but the 5 deals
There's
in.
a 5-mon dealing
Sonanko
in
Dora 1.
Watanabe.
Of course, there's tons of foo on a Sonanko, so
Yeah, oof.
6,400 plus the Homba and the Riichi stick.
77. And that pulls Watanabe almost into first. So this is actually a very
Very
close end game
fight
here.
It just kind of Machida's pretty much in fourth, but anyone else can win this. Less than 500 points between first and second, and Ikaido's only 5,200 back as well. Dora is
Yeah.
1 pin, so very hard to use Dora. Looks like a Pinfu type hand. We'll have to get rid of all those honors, though, so a bit of work to do. This is a Chun pair. And the question is, does Koike want to be call and go? And the answer is yes. Absolutely with this
Absolutely.
scoreline.
Yeah, Koike just wants to be done as fast as possible. Want to get out of there.
You don't have to greed Shanta. You just brute force the fastest hand you can get. And Machida's going to try and have to build value. There's some potential, but it's going to require time. This is Watanabe. Just gets another useless tile. Throws the 9-mon back. Not dreaming of the Itsu.
Carrying up
That
the
is
south
not
as
a
well.
pair. Oh, it is. Yeah, there it is. On the hand was actually covering it.
So you have 2 callable pairs. Well, that starts. The problem is that starts to get a little much. You know, like you don't even need that much to be done.
Yeah, but it's fine. I'm always preferable because I use the other as my pair if I get stuck
Dora
on it.
Pong and the Dora over here. This is getting dangerous. There's a south. Is it getting grabbed? It is.
Of course, it gets grabbed. Gotta take it here. Should be
Yep.
the Hatu. Could go 8-mon instead. Does go with the 8.
Yeah. Oh my
3
God.
fits very nicely.
This hand's got a lot of weight to it.
Well, it has the value, but it's still relatively slow, and of course you can't call it.
Oh.
Why do you con?
Neat.
No.
No, we're
You're
gonna.
in first place, not gonna take the free draw.
Yeah, we're not up in the ante on this hand.
I feel if that's a team that's in the negative, you just should con anyway.
Maybe.
But when you're if the game were to end here, your team would be in first place. It's probably not worth it.
No. 2. All right.
4 extends the Shipping Monzu 2, 4, 4, 5. Needs a 3 pretty badly. 5-mon pair up. That is now Ishan 10.
Yeah.
7, not a great floater. His hand is just not coming together. You see the shapes, but you have to actually complete them. Well, I think this could be, just goes to the Hatu. Keeps it 6 block for
Hots.
now. You want the maximum call ability.
Yeah,
3
all
so
of those
Anko.
3-sos.
That just Tempai. You have to slam this. Nothing fancy here. Riichi Dora 3.
Reach
You
door
get
3.
first place if you can hit it. Waiting on 6-0. Or see
Hots
one of them in
pair.
this hand. That is an upgrade here. Uh-oh, this 6-0 isn't probably coming out now, but it's probably coming out when this hand hits Tempai. Imagine this is the 8-so.
See what a quick hit. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Does not want Tempai. Doesn't realize it, but really, really does not want Tempai. And I think that's the last 6-0 of the wall, too. Yes,
It
all
might
the
be.
others are accounted for.
So now this is a rough spot because Koike's victory comes at a price.
Yes, and you almost have to be Tempai at the end here.
Yeah.
Unless you can be
That's also
convinced
meaningful.
Watanabe's not Tempai, which you can't expect her to be folding.
It's
7, so pretty nice upgrade here. Ishunten for Riichi Tanyao, maybe Peiko.
5.
5 fits
Very
in
nice
nicely,
also.
but the hand's still quite slow.
It's the curse.
3
The
doesn't
curse of
feel
getting
like a good
tiles you
tile.
want.
Doesn't like it and says, okay,
Whoa.
maybe we're gonna get away from this a bit. And the 6-0 is dead right now. Has to come out from someone's hand for Nikaido to win.
Yeah. It's good instincts for Koike there.
Pin isn't it? Ooh, well,
Ooh.
okay. Watanabe might be able to fight this just yet. Had been looking like a fold, but managed to get back in. And this 8-mon doesn't feel great. The question is, do you have anything to lose?
Yeah. Kind of does. I feel like that's what she's asking herself as well.
Yeah, hates this 8-mon. Like, really hates it.
Yeah, it's a rough tile.
Says, nope, we're done.
Nope. Can't afford to just throw the points away. Fair enough.
Raw score does matter. It's less important because of the big Uma and Oka bonuses, but it does matter. Five. Looked at it for a bit. You saw hesitation there. It's like, yeah, that's it. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
So close.
3-mon isn't it. We're seeing it. Basically, if this 6-0 comes out is the real question here. This is now Ishan 10. Gets back in. But says, nope, not unless it's Chitoitsu.
Yeah, this is a rough hand for everyone. Flirting with greatness, but oh, there's that 8 back.
Well, it also allows you to not have to throw the 6 here. But no, just hard folding at this point. says, I don't think Watanabe has the goods. We're just going to go to the Tempai payments.
Yeah.
Watanabe's been trying, but it's just not pushing stuff. Oh, well.
Oh, wow. What are we doing?
There's such an incentive to just do it, but you've already destroyed the hand.
Yeah, it's like this hand is not.
This feels like the type of con that I might do out of spite. That I hate this game, so you must suffer with me.
I mean, if you throw the 5 or 8 mon, you're technically Ishan 10. So that's a step forward for the hand. The tiles are dangerous.
The advantage of taking the con here is it's another draw.
Yeah.
That there is a Suwanko route, and that is obviously your route actually into the game. But at the same time, I kind of like just the 3-pin alone and just not take the con yet. We pair anything else up, I want to go for it. The problem is the 3-pin is right by Dora, potential Penchun deal in, and that's the other thought that's going here. There have not been low Pinzu cut.
Yeah. But with the Kame on the 5, the 3 looks a little bit safer.
Yeah, and says no. Okay.
No.
But the 6 deals in.
That was the 6. Oh my god.
That is it. That is the Riichi Dora 3. And says, wait, that's it? Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Close
And
way
Watanabe's heartbroken. Koike's heartbroken. And Nikaido comes out of nowhere and steals the win on the end there. 45.2, an amazing comeback. Just needed that 6 to come out, and it finally did. And Nikaido takes first. Koike with 12.4. Watanabe drops into the negative, -7.9. And Machida off the deal. And in the end, you just look on the face of the, wait, what? What just happened? That is an I read it, and that tile looks safe. What just happened? I've had a few of those.
So many points shuffled back and forth.
That is a monster swing there, just for that one tile.
Wow. That's tough times. It's tough times. But that was a really tough decision to make. That was a really tough call to make. I might have gone with a 3-pin because of that 5-pin Kame, but whew.
Yeah, I said I kind of like the 3-pin, but it does deal to a lot of Dora Penchun shapes, so I can certainly see the reticence on it. But ouch.
Absolutely.
All right then. Well, that's definitely a way to end the game. Congratulations there on that big comeback hand and all last. So let's see the combined scores.
Take a
I think we see them for today first. And here we are. MiiPro gets a reasonably positive 42. Pixy with a slightly better positive 56.6. And Wonderful Days and Kame lose the points today at the -35.6 and -65.2. But you look at the scores, and Emi Sugimura in the first game, the big winner of the day, except for Mami Ueda, who's 54.1 in game 2. Wasn't a particularly big win for Nikaido, but man, that is such a swing. You go from, what is it, -10 to effectively +40. Just completely saved the day for MiiPro. Their overall scores, they needed the points too.
Yeah. That win really makes a day positive for them, which is great.
Yeah, they needed it, and you can see there the scores got a lot closer. And team in first going in was Kame, and dropped into a second place, now reachable by anyone. Wonderful Days Chiba lost a few points as well, the -35.6 today. Overall, 16.4 in first. MiiPro, though, closed the gap again. It's hard to state how important that win was. You take 50 more points from MiiPro, and they're kind of way back there down with Pixy trying to avoid last. Pixy not out of it, though, and has a very strong day, the best day of all the teams, to come back from not complete doom, but we're sweating, to we have a chance. We have some work to do.
Yeah, this was actually, the outcome has brought this group at least a lot closer. which is really interesting.
I think we're going to take a look at the individuals now. Yuri Chinose still in first with that 8 games. That's one of the
Oh, wow.
advantages because you have to, I think, play 10 games to be officially qualified for the individual score to count. So you already have 8 games banked. You're feeling a lot better, even the people that have had really big games, but just not many of them, because natural swing could definitely come back and bite you. And the cut line there between 7th and 8th, Saku Tezuka and Momoko Miura. Of course, the singles are very complex as to how the actual brackets go in. So I believe that's the top 7 just advance further on. Of course, there's Ueda in the games there here in 5th place, and we're always cheering for Jenn in 12th, but she has 4 games. As mentioned yesterday, Team WRC had the week off.
So everyone else has some games to make up.
All right, then. Any closing thoughts? Anything you need to promote?
Oh, man. Let's see what's going on. We got a whole bunch of stuff happening. We are starting up our WRPM study sessions Saturdays at 2 p.m. This weekend, the next weekend at Sparrow's Nest. We have our WRL events, WRL September Majors, coming up in just 2 weeks. They are being held in San Francisco with PML, here in New York with Sparrow's Nest, and also online. So check that out. You go to sparrowsneststudio.com. You can check out the tickets for that. And otherwise, I think that's it for the moment. We'll have more coming.
Yeah, there will be a WRL minor event in DC that I'll be going
Yes,
to
this weekend. I'm
tomorrow.
sorry.
I think there's still seats open for that as well if you're in the DC area. And other than that, I think we just go ahead and wrap it up here. So thanks for watching. The obligatory like, subscribe, etc. We're looking to provide you more content, but as with anything else, we need your responses, your interest to show to the people that give us films to present to you to say, hey, we have enough to justify it. You give us more support, we give you more mahjong. Seems pretty simple to me. So with that, for Nathanael, Jenn, Chiral, Dave, and of course Harrison jumping in. Thanks,
Saving the day.
Harrison, there for that last minute. This is Corak. Hoping to see you next time. By the way, when is our next cast?
Is our next? I'm not sure. We'll have to check the schedule.
Should be about a month, I think. No, it's actually in 2 weeks. So we will see you in a couple weeks. Looks like September 25th and 26th. So that'll be the Thursday and Friday as normal. So hope to see you
before
then.
The majors. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great day.